Yeah, I just sent it to you. Yeah, it's good. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Right, right. Not today. Tomorrow I got a busy schedule. I'll be gone from 8 to 5. Yeah, from 8 to 5 tomorrow morning. Yep, I'll be gone all morning. But I jump in there on my spare time. I love to teach my people, man. You good though? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, you could. Uh, Hold on, I have to double check. Yeah, but I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Yep. What's up, good people? What's up, good people? How y'all doing? How y'all day going? I know mine going good. Had a productive day. I had time to speak to my people in the morning, then went and ran my errands, did what I had to do. So now I'm back, and I just want to speak on what keeps us on this earth plane, what keeps us melanated brothers and sisters grounded, because I'm here for all people, but I love my people as well. And we don't need no one else to teach us but us. We don't need no one to give us a watered down teaching of science, of spirituality, of history. We need someone to give us some true teachings. And I just commission my brothers and sisters to take what I'm saying as keys and as lessons. And if you like the teachings, don't hesitate to give a donation to our temple and school, which is Cash App $ KG Bay. If you don't want to give a donation, I understand. That's fine as well. But we have to get back into things that build our community. As I'm making my way back to my home city, Flint, Michigan, I'm going to be building in my city. I own a lot of property in my old neighborhood that I grew up on a block of West Patterson, and I'm showing regular people how to buy their community under our religious organization, just like the prophet did, so we can operate under our private religious community. And I'm showing this to young brothers and sisters. I've been doing this in Arizona for so long. I'm getting so tired of teaching people that don't look like me, and they taking this strategy and running with it. And then I know so many Moors, and I don't care if you a Hebrew Israelite or Christian or whatever. We should have a common denominator, and that's the community. And I have a skill set. I'm educated in what I'm speaking about, and I'm anointed. And what I talk about works. If I wasn't talking universal, no European professor, none of these potentates out in Arizona would be inviting me to their schools and to their synagogues and teaching their children about tax codes, about spirituality, and sharing my full library that I have a plethora of wisdom. I have over 1 million books and documents in my personal library that I share with my brothers and sisters on this internet for pennies of the dollar. That's why I asked brothers for donations. Earlier, when I was giving a lecture, I showed people about, I say 8 books. I'm waiting for my mufti to jump on. And those 8 books that everybody researched on Amazon, the total price was $8,000 for those 8 books. I know the average Negro, black, or color, or more, or whatever you call yourself and identify to, is not going to spend that type of money on wisdom and knowledge. The first thing you got to ask yourself is, why is that wisdom and knowledge on Amazon that much? It's to keep you away from things. And I have it. I converted all these documents to PDF, and then my company has printed and bind them because we have our own printing press, and we print and bind these documents. And I make them available to my people because my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refuse to learn. Now, when I say my people, I'm talking about those that look like me. All my people are God's people that's under the sound of my voice. I have more, no disrespect, European Jewish and free and European Masons that's under the sound of my voice than my own brothers and sisters. Why? Because they study us to a T. They wear the fez and clandestine. They have taken this science and reversed it. And what I'm doing and what I've been doing is I've been using that reverse esoteric psychology. I've been using the power of the jinn, which they take and they may call it different names, as Adam Blavatsky do it. She might call it the secret wisdom, as Aleister Crowley might have took it and reversed it, as Pascal Beverly Randolph took it and reversed the science. But I'm a ghostbuster. I'm not afraid of no ghosts. I'm not afraid of nobody that's dressed up like me, reversing the teachings. When I tell my brothers and sisters the Baphomet is nothing scary, it's written Kabbalistically. Temp, Hob, Abs, Abba, meaning temple of David, meaning temple of God and man, universal wisdom. When you see one hand up and one hand down, that's called Volta. So I'm teaching science and I'm bringing something back to my brothers and sisters, which I'm going to take this back to my neighborhood in the city of Flint, because I'm going back to my community. I'm going back to my community where people look like me, where I can touch babies, where I can have them coming after school to my temple and my building that all of us should be supporting. We should have to die for glory. Brothers shouldn't have to go to prison to get this wisdom. I have a gift. Give me 1 second. Let me answer this. Hold on. Peace. Mufti Malik. I told y'all, man, most of us misnomer black people, we take our spirituality and our education and our scholarship as weekend things. Oh, it's this day and this day. But when you are an elite, when you are illuminated, these are things that you do every single day of the week. You don't have time to just do it on the weekend. You need to have muscle memory. That's why when I build my brick and mortar back in my city of Flint, my doors are open every day, because after you do your worldly things, you need to come to the temple to get all that wisdom, to go back in the world, to know how to defend yourself in all rights of life, on the job with people coming at you, and then bring all that positive energy back to the community. Man, we talking about, listen, man, we are lost. We will spend our money on things that don't mean nothing instead of support something that's real, and then be caught up in paying taxes and don't understand that we're tax exempt for the federal government, religious, scientific, educational, and charitable. Meaning you can cipher the money that you pay Uncle Sam to us, and we can give you a tax exempt receipt. Because your dollars does not run the United States of America. It sits in the private banking system. But you must pay your taxes or donate your money to your charitable contribution of your choice. That's the law. I operate in law, and you can ask any tax preparer. Real organizations like myself is tax exempt for the federal government. You should want to be tax exempt. But we're not going to be able to get to a place of understanding and wisdom and start taking life serious. And until we stop listening to all these people on YouTube talking about they some pay for your leisure, all these fake Moors talking about they can nationalize you or denationalize you, all these people telling you that you can file some notes and take it to the bank and magically get some, all that's fake. telling you some 1010 number is some trust fund, walking around with some fake badge, telling you that you're a sovereign citizen, and that's an oxymoron. You can't be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. Telling you that you want to expatriate from this de facto government, then who do you have affiliates with? See, these is laws that govern the world. I teach the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment. I teach manumissions. I teach Reconstruction laws. I show you what this whole world consists of, from law. And Moors, we are law-abiding citizens per se. Don't get all caught up when I say citizens. I'm using that as a speaking point because I'm willing to be a part of a community, my religious community. I have a clear understanding of what I'm talking about. You should too. You should have a clear understanding and want to be clear. So I'm going to talk about a few things. And if my brothers and sisters like the teachings, I give my information out. Brothers and sisters should be hitting me up. I should not be getting a plethora of calls from different people that don't look like me. I should not be getting emails from European students, which I have no problem with Jewish students, European Jews. I don't have a problem with them. I should not be getting all the phone calls from European Freemasons that want to learn the wisdom because they know I have all the documents. I have all the ancient documents that their grandfathers might have heard from them. I have them because I've been introduced to the science. I'm going to always be transparent. I have ancient documents, Atlantis from the latter days when the European called itself El Elyon. I have all the wisdom that'll show you, wait a minute. We've been taught in reverse. I have all Abraham Elam, the Magi. I have all the Sufi teachings. I have all the jinns, all those ancient teachings from the continent of Africa. From Credo Matua to Sheikh Ibrahim Falls, the Mordine, to all our culture, to the Santeria, to the Orishas. I teach it. I teach it. But they get you caught up with the word black and thinking that's something wrong with it. And it's not. One second. I just had a conversation with a brother and he was like, oh, you study too? And I said, yes, I must study all of it. I'm an adapt. I don't gravitate to one science where I miss the essence of the rest. A true adapt, a true Sufi, a true shaman is a person that understands mathematics, reading, arithmetic, all that, masonry, theology, and can take all those teachings back to the community of your own people and build your community up. That's who I am. That's who I am, my brothers and sisters. I don't get joy out of this doing no 9 to 5. I didn't go to the university to go sit in somebody's office all day. When I went to the university, when I got my business degree, then when I came out here to Arizona and got my dual master's degree in first century history and religion and linguistics, every one of my European Jewish professors, that's potentates, that's Scottish Rite Masons, I teach them. They get all their books and documents from me. They thought I was coming out here to get all this wisdom and go back to my community. And now we have this internet that we should be wise. We should be able to share all this wisdom with our brothers and bring people to the storehouse. We shouldn't just have classes on Saturday and Sunday. My temple is open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I broke down the true essence of the Sabbath. I broke that down earlier when each day is the process of giving glory. I broke that down earlier. Go back into the teachings and see what I was talking about. I told y'all Sunday is not no day of no rest. That's some man-made religion. Sunday, the Sabbath, that's of spirituality. It's a day you remember to study and to cultivate what it means to be spiritual while practicing a ritual of spirituality. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all those days are for a specific task. It's a certain power and anointing that I'm under. And if Europeans see that and they give me respect, The whole thing that I ask my brothers and sisters, why not our own brothers and sisters give their own brother the same respect that the European would give, that the European potentate, that the European master mason, that the European Jewish do, that the one that's under the Kabbalah, and I teach the Kabbalic. I teach all the Kabbalic teachings. I teach all the Sephirots. I've been teaching it for years. And when they come around me, the first thing they say is your vibration. And they give homage to a true teacher, to a true adapt, to a true shaman. But why not us? I teach these lessons. I've been teaching these lessons for a long time. I haven't just got into this. I'm going to break this down again. Because these are teachings that I teach other people and they use it. Especially when I get into this teaching of the melanin. I have a gift. What's the use of a doctor if no one's sick? All my brothers and sisters, they are spiritually sick. You don't know this? Sunday, the Sabbath, that's of spirituality. That's the day you remember to study and cultivate what it means to be spiritual while practicing a ritual of spirituality. A ritual. A ritual. That's what we do on Sunday. We come together. Monday is the Sabbath of family togetherness. You're supposed to remember your family, spend valuable time together. Remember to respect your connection with the universal family. Tuesday is the Sabbath of action. This is the day one should remember to focus on the body, the health, and the arts of war. When most people talk about a gun, but you don't even know hand-to-hand combat. Tactical and strategic thinking. Listen and read wisdom. I have a full library. How many of us on here take time out of the week to listen and focus? To read wisdom concerning such things. How many of us practice kamuzati? That's combat and vigorous exercise of the body. How many ciphers do that? Back in the day, we had the nation, but I do that with my brothers. We do that. My minister of defense and workout is on my YouTube page right now. My minister, Malik Reed L. We do this. Once I get my brick and mortar, I'm going to start teaching sticky hands, which is Wing Chun, to my brothers and sisters. I'm going to start showing y'all how to work the bow staff, how to work nunchucks, how to work all these different weapons. I'm going to show you how to be powerful with your mind first, and how to outthink someone, and how to strategize, and show it. And before you just act, you think about strategy, and you can be the person without even moving a finger. Those are the ethers that's in your hippocampus. Wednesday is the Sabbath of the word. This is the day we remember to respect the power of our speech and communication. That's why I said my temples have to be open every day of the week, because I have to teach this every day, and then I teach it repeatedly, over and over and over, so it begins to stick. You can't get some one day out of the week and think it's going to stick. Wednesday is the Sabbath of the word. This is a day we remember to respect the power of our speech and communication. We should be at least tactic, but should seek to accomplish total silence for but one day. This will strengthen the ability of your words to influence and to manipulate any finite surroundings. When you manipulate everything around you, that's the divinity of this science. Thursday is the Sabbath of destiny and creativity. This is a day to remember to cultivate and to study what we are born to do. What are we born to do? All of us are born with a gift. We are not born here to work no 9 to 5 and come home and sit on our rusty dusty and complain and watch basketball or football or some goofy stuff on the internet. What is your gift? See, the powers that be, they know we're not going to study. They know we're not going to come together. Don't y'all know J. Edgar Hoover? He put out all those laws, the destruction of the Black Messiah. And then I have to teach this and beg my people. I want to be like Cheers. I want to go places where everybody know my name. College people and potentates shouldn't be the only people that know me, and I'm from y'all same community. It shouldn't be like that. We should just give our money to things that's meaningless. We have the power to control what we want our destiny to be. So we should at least be focusing on what things we should be doing to keep us on a path that leads us to that great work, to that great destiny, and destinies that are given by the world all lead to death. When you work a graveyard shift and brothers be bragging about how many hours they work. That ain't nothing to me, that you work your hands to the bone and then you retire at damn near 70 and you only got a couple of years of life left because you done worked and got in debt. And the United States taught people how to be in debt and be wasteful. You're supposed to live under your means to do what? To support your ministry and build your community. And brothers supposed to migrate to each other. That's why I said us as families, we don't love each other. We be in a hurry to move away from our community and to move away from the home. And then all our dollars is just scattered out. And then you have Negroes make excuses. Well, I'm happy to be away. No, you're not. You don't have nothing. The average Negro do not have 100 grand. If any Negro get on here and say they got 100 grand in their bank account, I know you lying. You lying, ain't no truth in you. You don't own property. You don't own land. You don't own a library. We don't own our own temples. We don't own our own schools. We don't own our own places where we diagnose ourselves. Everything about us is from somebody else. They tell us how to spend our money by commercials. We have more money in our closets than we have in our bank account and what we supporting. That's why we can't build nothing. Friday, the Sabbath of matrimony. This is a day that we must remember the importance of a balanced relationship. In the Bible, it tells you that a man finding a wife finds a good thing. That's balance. A man must honor his wife by taking her out to dinner. Nice sunset views. I told y'all, that's in our moral science. It's Empress Day. Give her flowers. Do some of those things that we may think she like. If she going on trips, give her a couple dollars. A woman must honor and imbue her husband with kingly characteristics by making him know that she trusts his decisions and that she will faithfully follow his lead. She must also make him know that no other man will ever occupy space in her mind or in her heart. Only you. Whatever you choose, let it be in the mindset of the lovers. A unity must honor our holy union and rejoice that we have found each other. A couple must honor and court each other, but must acknowledge their lack of a unity or a trinity. Children must honor their parents' union and meditate on establishing a strong and successful union of their own when their time has come. And Saturday, brothers and sisters, the Sabbath of reciprocity. This is a day you should focus on unfinished issues, no matter what they are. Be they untold truth or just projects that need more attention. We put so much stuff out there, but do we finish projects? We say we want to do stuff and we don't even do it. But other people have done it because there's strength in numbers. Also, you must do a week in review to consider how well you have maintained a progressively outstanding character. That's just a first step of what I'm telling us, brothers and sisters. That's just a first step. That's a first step. I want to backtrack because my main topic is melanin, the chemical key to black greatness. And then I'm going to do a little canon prayer. Because I'm going to start breaking down documents that I ain't even share with my muftis. Because some stuff we need to be taught first. When I talk about diet spies of destruction, when you got all these new ways of eating. So when I talk about diet spies are sent to destroy and corrupt the minds and bodies of true indigenous people. A lot of these people come from the Boule. All you got to do is research Steve Coakley. I talk about old stuff. Steve Coakley went too far. Steve Coakley was educated. Research the Boule. When I tell y'all that the Greek is a fraud, and all my brothers be out here talking about they some Greek stuff. But then get the book called Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. All Greek history is stolen Egyptian history. The Greek is a fraud. No disrespect to nobody. No disrespect to nobody. We don't accept our African heritage. We go to some Greek mess and we let somebody brand us. See, these is facts, and facts are stubborn, but the truth. You got brother like, I love a lot of our ancient brothers. I love Dick Gregory. I love Dr. Ben. I love a lot of other people, but a lot of them brothers was Masons. And they would put out here to confuse you with propaganda, give you a little truth and a whole bunch of falseness to tell you this is not right. But when you research it from scholarship and use your own hippocampus and science, you'll begin to think like, whoa, because I operate on old wisdom. All these new diets, you don't need that. I'm under a kosher diet. In English, that's a kosher diet. I eat to live. The same way that Farrakhan wrote those books, man, he got this stuff from old documents. But we think we got to keep reinventing the wheel, and I'm telling you, you don't. Don't y'all know after the FDA's approval of GMO foods in the 50s and the 60s, it was mainly vegetables. So most of these vegetables that y'all get is GMO. When you go to the store, all those bananas, that's GMO. I'm telling you what I know. A lot of these people come from your own community. They come from Afro communities and aggressively taught many about the Greek raw vegan diet. That's a Greek diet. I don't care how many people that's vegan, I don't care. I'm telling you what I know. So if you Greek, then okay, but if you're not Greek, why are you under a Greek diet? But see, we don't study far enough. We just take things and say, oh, this bad, this bad. Who told you it was bad? Who told you certain meats were bad? I just told you I'm under a kosher diet. Who told you certain meats was bad? Who? Pseudo-academia, that's Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda. And that's a Greek raw vegan diet. And that's how you would die. A lot of people, a lot of these so-called Greek vegans, and it ain't no disrespect to no one. It ain't no disrespect to no one. But if you don't know this, you look at a person that's vegan. Your body is missing certain nutrients. But we think I'm being healthy. I don't eat meat. So what, goofy? That don't make you no better than nobody, sir. You ain't studied nothing. You taking some foreign and put that in your diet and bring that mess back to your community. And they receive unusual support from, no disrespect, from Europeans, despite his strong racial tones against them. These brothers, no disrespect. I love Baba Dick Gregory. I take the good and I run with the good. But then the rest, I throw it away. If he was in the flesh, I sit him down. I'll be like, yeah, I hear you, but you got that from a Greek diet. And I can show you where these people took the oath. That's why I don't gravitate to no man, because a man will let you down. And many Afro people followed him without a thought, as if he was the Pied Piper. Large groups of indigenous people began to believe that eating meat was unhealthy, and others thought it to be a transgression. But the Bible tell you what you can eat. The Bible tell you what meats you can eat. What are you talking about? If you were more, you say you from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. I ask every more, what diet are we under? We under a Hebrew diet. What type of diet? Or kosher diet. Now, if you vegan, you're not under your own vine and fig tree. You under some Greek stuff. These is facts. And facts are stubborn, but they the truth. From that time forth, Metro, all these other things came in. Skinny, diabetics, thyroid, gut cancer, malnutrition, chronic anemia began to soar amongst the so-called black people due to the severe hormone imbalances that the diet and the GMO foods causes. You got to know this. Meat is important for health at this time, but it's best you eat certain meats, certain white meats per se, because they carry very weak DNA transfers. We talk about pork ain't this good and all this and all this. I'm just a scientist. I know what I'm talking about. The only reason why you don't eat the pig because the pig don't sweat. But if a pig is raised a certain way, who say it's bad? If you raise a certain thing to eat natural stuff. If you have a farm and you're dealing with natural farms and they raising their animals to eat a certain thing, and they can guarantee you, oh man, we raise our animals to eat this, to eat that, and we kill them in a way covertly, and the blood draw. Who can tell you that is poisonous? Who? Only a fool. Chicken, fish, and other seafoods. All red meats carry high levels of strong, heavy DNA transfers that easily carries the death trauma of the animal to the consumer. Notice how cruel and violent meat farms are. They are purposely transferring fear, stress, and hate through your gut. And GMO veggies also manipulate the DNA to cause mental ailments like autism, which a lot of these kids are growing up today with, autism. And then we let these people and these different people that don't look like you diagnose your kid. A grizzly bear and a black bear have two different chemical makeups, but they still bears. I'm not gonna feed the grizzly bear the same thing I'm gonna feed the grizzly bear the same thing I'm gonna feed the polar bear. They have two different chemical makeups. The koala bear is gonna eat something different. They have two different makeups. You should only buy from local non-GMO farm markets and butchers, but we don't have none local. We don't have our own local herbologists like my noble Moso. We can go get our herbs. We don't have our own farmers and our own brothers and sisters that done bought land in our neighborhood, and we growing our own fruits and vegetables, and we're not spraying it with no chemicals, or we're not doing nothing to make it grow fast. We don't have that. And Negroes move out to areas and don't have no land. And our neighborhood, especially my city of Flint, Michigan, is for sale. It's tennis shoe money. All of us should be moving back to an area, occupying the area, and doing this, what I'm saying, instead of just wasting our money. This is where I'm at with this wisdom. I can't die with all this wisdom and just work a job. My people should be supporting this, and at least supporting me to build this for people can come back so we can have our own neighborhood and our own communities. We don't have nothing. Never forget that since the Garden of Eden, the lesson has been, if you want to control the people, you must do what? Control what and how they eat. Tupac said, once we change the way we eat, once we change the way we think, once we change the way we live, then we can go back to something. We're going back to something. We're going back to something. We had our own animals. We had our own farms. We had our own fruits and vegetables. We bartered. We had our own barbershops. We had our own schools. We had our own temples. Where? In our neighborhoods. We had our own houses. Where? In our neighborhoods. And we owned it because we all put our money together. We worked for a time, and then we come back to our community. We own our own vehicles under our religious organization. We understand about tax codes. We got to understand this. It's some people that's supposed to work and bring that money back to our community. This is what we don't understand today as a people. We became Americanized. No culture at all. Zero. Zero. Let me give a hymn before I get into this teaching. Cannon, we're going to build our nation up. Cannon, we're going to build our nation up. Lucifer has torn down our nation and stole our claim to this land. But we know, Cannon, we're going to build our nation up. Holy, we shall be once we confess. Holy, we shall be once we confess. We've been acting like we did nothing to earn this unholy name. Holy, we shall be once we confess. Traitors, we see who you are now. Traitors, we see who you are now. No more deceiving our people for the favor of the wicked men. No more lying. Traitors, we see who you are now. And anybody that's a Freemason, I don't care if you Prince Hall, you a liar and ain't no truth in you, and you took an oath. If you under that Greek stuff, the Greek is a fraud. They only gonna tell you a little bit of wisdom. They can't tell you the truth because they took an oath. What? Not to tell you nothing. And they look at their own kids as perverse. I know this for a fact. I said any European Mason down right next to me, they gonna shut their mouth and they gonna listen. Why? Because they know who I am. Lucifer, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Lucifer, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. You've been spreading your wicked children all over our plain. It's over for you. Lucifer, we're going to tear your kingdom down. I deal with lords only. The jinn are going to chant and drive the wicked out. The jinn is going to chant and drive the wicked out. You've been killing cannon sons all over this plain. No more. The jinn are going to chant and drive the wicked out. Ladies only. The genies are going to sing and cast those demons out. The genies are going to sing and cast those demons out. You've been raping Canaan's daughters all over this plain. Never again. The genies are going to sing and cast those demons out. Hum the hymn and end with silence. Everything should be done in a voice, in a singing manner. That's why when you hear the call of prayer, the Islamic call of prayer, it's in a manner of a singing per se. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. It's a chant. It's a chant. It's a hymn. It's ethers. When I talk about virtues of the jinn, I broke this down earlier. All the way down, all of them, all the balances from 1 to 17, self-love, honesty, nobility, purity, humility, discipline, chastity, knowledge, respect, compassion, destiny, reciprocity, passion, ritual, insight, connectedness, balance. We lost that. We lost that. This is what I'm bringing back to my brothers and sisters. I'm bringing something back to us that we lost. And if the European want to hear me speak all day and sit down and teach them and they pay me, I done came to a place where, man, I'm frustrated. I'm at a place where I'm frustrated with everything I do. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm frustrated. Why? Because other people accept me more than my own people. And then our own people look at them, it's like they gods, and they laugh and they say, well, they got you. And if they don't want you, we'll take you. They treat me just like Angelo Solomon, the first Moorish Mason, that teach their kids, that teach all them. Just because you have a certain amount of dollar don't mean that you introduced to wisdom. Just because you have a college degree don't mean you know nothing. So let's deal with this melanin. 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 Do we know what melanin consists of? Do we know what melanin is all about? The chemical melanin is a unique biopolymer or life chemical found in high concentrations in various organs and or functional centers. Melanin centers, in the misnomer black human, black man and woman. In the past, melanin was considered by European Western scientists and by Negro scientists to be a waste product of body metabolism and served no useful function within the body of the misnomer black human. And because of this prejudice and foolishness, scientific research on melanin moved at a slow pace or was completely ignored. But if you can't sleep and all that, why do you take melatonin pills? Why do different nationalities got to take melatonin pills? You never thought about that? Recently, scientists have discovered that melanin is a refined, complex, multifunctional, many accessories chemical that has a wide variety of important functions within the body of misnomer black people. And in the environment, plants, bodies of water, soil, animals. That's why they say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. You don't know this? The color spectrum goes from dark to light, not from light to dark. In school, they teach your kids the color spectrum from light to dark. That's pseudo-academia. I've been destroyed this. That's why I said you need to teach your kids. And they go back to the public schools and they teach the teachers. I'm giving you a schoolmaster. Melanin is located in important areas of the nervous system and major organs throughout the misnomer black human. And one property or personality trait exhibited by melanin, which is critically important to the well-being of misnomer black people, is its ability to combine or chemically react with various drugs and chemicals. That's why misnomer black people get addicted to drugs a little bit faster. That's why misnomer black people attach to marijuana a little bit faster, because it attached to your melanin. It is proposed here that illegal toxic drugs such as cocaine, LSD, marijuana, heroin, amphetamines, they alter or change the melanin's chemical structure, the electrical charge, and the electronic configuration, thus altering many life-supporting activities. These changes may reduce the function of various organs and or melanin centers in misnomer black people. That's why I'm telling you, when we take these illegal drugs, it mess up your DNA or your RNA. It destroys it. And here it is. I teach all people that don't look like me. And then when a European come to me, they say, well, I thought you was getting all these teachers and go back to your community. Man, misnomer black people don't want no real teachings. They want to go to church. They get on the internet and talk and give all stupid ass quotes that they find on the internet. And they dealing with an uneducated teacher and preacher. Their kids don't want to go. Why? Everybody dying of diabetes and high blood pressure. But you talk about you a child of God and everything that I teach is in the biblical scriptures because we're not educated. We don't know nothing. And your own people has took an oath to do what? To not tell you the truth. I should be able to come back to my city of Flint, Michigan, and all my family and friends that I got on the internet support our temple. I got too many friends and families. When I ask for small, stupid ass donation, $5 and $10, they can't. But you'll go to church and support the church. What is the church doing for you? What is the church teaching your kids? When your kids failing in school, can you go to that pastor that's uneducated and they help your kid? When you dying over diabetes and high blood pressure, can you sit down with your so-called pastor and they give you dietary laws to heal yourself within? Because most Negroes die over the food they eat and drink, and they say, well, Jesus is going to fix it. And I'm telling you, you a lie and ain't no truth in you. These changes may reduce the function of various organs and or melanin centers in misnomer black humans, thus leading to numerous body disorders such as a reduction in the creation of knowledge. That's why misnomer black people don't want to learn knowledge. They want to go to church. So you have a reduction in the creation of knowledge. And my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge. Why? Because they refuse to learn. That's Hosea 4 and 6. If the Bible is analogy, parable, and symbology, and I ask you, do your pastor know analogy, parable, and symbology? No. If I tell you the Bible is the zodiacs, if I tell you the Bible is a genealogy book, would you tell you no? If I tell you the Bible is law, no. So what are you getting from your church? So what are you getting from your church? I'll wait, nothing. And you know it and I know it. You getting a hallelujah, good ass time. When people talk about they speaking in tongue, your ass ain't speaking in tongue. Excuse my candor. That's a foreign language. Speaking in tongue is language that other people know. In the upper room, when the outpouring of the Holy Spirit came down on people and they began to talk and they started believing in their own native tongue, it was people there to interpret what they said. Can't nobody teach you how to speak in tongue unless they teach you another language. But my people is ignorant. A reduction in one's ability to retrieve memory from stages, a loss of motivation, skin rashes, cancer, all these things that our kids have. ADHD, all this stuff is from what we eat. We don't know how to reverse nothing. And you look at all our kids today are born ADHD with chemical imbalances. Why? I told y'all whatever that's in the womb and outside the womb, the child is going to come out like that. A reduction in one's ability to phase into various spiritual states or energy states. Like you will have high blood pressure, reduced physical activity, early death. When you're looking at all these people dying of heart attacks. My homeboy just died of a heart attack. My homeboy Deshaun Yulee, he died of a heart attack. My friend Derek Evans, he died what? Poison. When we pick up alcohol, we pick up these things and it changed your DNA and your RNA. It changed your ability to retrieve memory. It changes your ability. It reduces in the creation of knowledge. It reduces your ability to know that you are God. And furthermore, illegal drugs used by the medical profession, such as tetracyclines, tetracyclines, and neuroplitis for treating psychosis, all have a strong affinity for reacting with and or binding to your melanin, and it can be toxic to the melanin centers in a misnomer black man. You don't take poison, and if you got a poison in it, you don't take another poison and think you're going to heal yourself. That's the craziest thing. The first thing I tell people, if you're sick, the first thing you need to do is what? Starve the sickness. Most sickness that we have, just like if you get the so-called COVID or whatever those things, or whatever disease, the first thing you got to do is change what you eating and change what you drinking. You got to get off all that GMO. You got to put those stupid ass cigarettes down. You got to put all those burgers and all that stuff down. You got to starve that poison. And if you don't understand that, you will never heal yourself. You will never heal yourself because you think Jesus is going to fix it. And finally, environmental herbicides such as paraquats and the Agent Orange dioxide bind irreversibly with melanin and remain in misnomer black humans throughout life, causing many of the body disorders. Just like in the military, that Agent Orange, all that stuff, it messes them up for life. And this report is a general outline of melanin, its modes of manufacture, location, and influence of cultural parameters. It compares the chemical structure of melanin and major social drugs such as cocaine, LSD, marijuana. Why y'all think when I go back to my city of Flint, it's a stupid ass, excuse my candor, it's a marijuana dispensary on every corner. It's a marijuana dispensary on every corner. But how many of y'all grow your own marijuana? How many of y'all got a farm that's growing? Nobody. You don't know what's in that stuff. You don't know what's in it. But they made it legal for somebody 18 could go and buy marijuana. And shows that the structural similarities of toxic drugs and melanin led to body disorders and death in the misnomer black human. If you're going to smoke marijuana, grow your own. The law says you can grow. How many brothers on here grow their own marijuana? I don't know, hardly none. How many people grow their own fruits and vegetables? How many of us, I went right back to my neighborhood. I grew up on West Patterson, all the houses abandoned. I went back on Green Street where my family grew up on, all the houses abandoned. We don't own nothing. We can get all that stuff for tennis shoe money. Put a petition in for the city to tear that down. All that blight should be gardens. We don't need no raggedy ass houses. We need to put double wides on that land. We need to change our whole neighborhood. That's the strategy that I have. All that blight need to be farmland, need to be agriculture. And then we show our kids and the women how to garden, how to grow, how to stitch. A lot of women don't know how to do nothing but go on vacation and drink and smoke. Future directions relative to research and development and controlling the melanin environment, I'm gonna also outline. I was able to go to the laboratory and look through the microscope and see how melanin depletes and see how melanin can be restored. That's why I'm a true teacher. That's why when I'm out here in Arizona, that's why all my teachings is popular to people that don't look like me, because they study us to a T. The only reason why they study us is to show how to destroy us. You got to study a person. That's the true art of war. Knowing how a person think, knowing how a person don't read, knowing what a person eat, knowing how to confuse a person and put all poison at them to take truth and mix it with falsehood and destroy you. And destroy you. And they use your own people to do it. They pay them. That's the Freemasons and a lot of these preachers. That's why the Bible says, woe to you lying preacher that confuse my flock and scatter my people. But your pastor said he was called to ministry. By who? So let's deal with this. The misnomer black human is blessed by nature. You're not sun-cursed, you're sun-kissed. You're blessed with the chemical makeup. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons with the so-called scary Christian or talk about some 666 is some devil. Well, Lucifer is the morning star, the bright morning star. I broke that down earlier. It's your higher self and your lower self. The sun rises and the sun sets. When the sun sets, that's your lower self. But we lost. We lost. By nature, we have this in us. That's highly functioning chemical that regulates essentially all bodily functions and activities. The misnomer black human is distinguished from other human species in that he or she tends to have a higher number of organs and body systems that contain high concentrations of chemical that is black in color. This chemical is called melanin. The closer you get to the sun, it's black, y'all. Why y'all think a lot of stuff on airplanes, they use black? Because it's close to the sun. Y'all don't even know this. Ask any scientist, ask anybody, a chemist, am I saying something that's not valid? I bet you they be like, that brother is on point. And they probably already know me. This chemical is called melanin, and it's responsible for manufacturing and sustaining life. Melanin is located in an important area of the misnomer black human, such as what? Your central nervous system, autonomic, automatic nervous system, perpetual outlying surfaces, your nervous system, diffuse neuron doctrine, your gland system, the vesicles, which is your major internal organs. Fact check me. Because of its pervasive presence in the organs and in the nervous system and in the glands that I just gave you, you would expect melanin to serve some vital function, or nature would not have incorporated it into your system. This is the preaching and the teaching that you're supposed to get in a misnomer black church. How to build yourself back up to God's. Not no get on your knees and think you're only going to have righteousness when you die. Because the Bible says you want the same thing on earth as it is in heaven. Everything in your brain is up top. The astrological signs, the constellations is in your brain. I should be reawakening you. That's why I'm trying to go back to my city of Flint and build this. I got too many friends on Facebook and Instagram from my city, and all they do is play, and all of them scatter. Because you will ask each one of them so-called Christians or one of them Islam people something, and they all gonna tell you something different. So if we all using the same books and we all scholars, how can we come up with something different? Because it's a theory and it's a man-made religion that destroys the misnomer black man, that destroys the misnomer black woman from being God's. And the Bible say you are God's. You are created in the image of God. You can't be a Negro, black, or colored, or African American. You can't be, because God didn't create that. You cannot be. You cannot be a slave. You choose to be a slave. The areas of melanin, biology, and pathobiology have significantly advanced over the past years since the first international conference in 1946, which was designed to thoroughly evaluate the chemical melanin, which is the 2 and the 3. It appears that Western scientists and Negro scientists are indeed interested in the blackness of the misnomer black human and have justified its importance by spending millions of dollars annually for a study. They spend millions of dollars to study you. Don't you know when you die, your organs is worth so much money? Don't you know melanin is on the stock market and on the trade is worth millions of dollars? You don't know that? The stuff that I teach and preach is worth millions. And I bring this back to my people. All my friends on Instagram and Facebook should be in tune to this, but they don't. You know why? Because they're not gods. They're not gods. They don't see themselves as gods. They're getting the wrong interpretation of the biblical scriptures. You're dealing with all exoteric teachings. And at the same time, the misnomer black human is told and instructed that his or her blackness is not important. And I'm telling you it is. I'm telling you your blackness is in this context. Some misnomer white dermatologists, no disrespect. You want to call them Albion, you want to call them Trilodite, whatever. I'm just giving as speaking points. If they call you black, well, in this context, I'm saying white. I don't have no disrespect to nobody. Why? Because most people that's under my teachings are Europeans, are Albions, and Trilodites. And they winning. I'm trying to bring this back to my city of Flint, Michigan. I'm trying to take this back home where I grew up from. I done been home for a week. I go down all the side streets. It ain't nothing but raggedy ass houses on each block. We don't know how to buy our block. Somebody at the door? Hold on. I go back to my city of Flint, Michigan. Everything is raggedy. Everybody stand next to raggedy stuff. I said, we can own this. We're going to let all these big companies come back and spend millions of dollars to buy everything up, and then they're going to kick us out of the community. They're going to build projects like they did before and stack misnomer black people on top of each other, and we have the opportunity to buy all this plight under our religious organization and rebuild our community and make it a religious private community and have our own farms, have our own schools, have our own temples, have our own businesses. Where? In our neighborhoods. They do it in Chinatown. They do it in the Jewish communities. They taking over New York. You telling me this ain't valuable knowledge? I should be able to come back to my city of Flint, Michigan and show all my people that still live in a neighborhood. And we buy all this plight and we have our own farms. We don't need no raggedy ass houses if we don't have people that work with their hands to build it up. We had them tear that mess down and we put our double wides on it. I'm telling you, I have a strategy and a gift. No disrespect to no one. I'm not here to disrespect no one. I'm telling you the truth. A lot of these people are afraid of melanin and believe it to be a threatening chemical. But when you're a different nationality, I bet you they take melanin pills. Different nationalities are afraid of your blackness and develop hypotheses to support their beliefs. They done came with all these fake hypotheses to support their beliefs. I'm telling you why I know, because I was able to lecture this on a college campus. All those doctors that came out, we're going to prove him wrong. And my professor, which is a European Jew, a potentate out here in Arizona, he said, I bet you can. I lectured to all them Europeans when I was doing my oral dissertation. You can hear a pin drop. They're not going to come to me with no pseudo academia. You're not. You're not going to come and misdiagnose me. And this lie or fear is a continuation of the mental genocide that has hampered the misnomer black humans' progress for over 2,000 years, or since the fall of the misnomer black Egyptian civilization in 332 BC. I can go on and on of the problem of the misnomer black human, but it's my intention to present in this dissertation the issue that's facing the misnomer black people today. This issue, simply stated, is that the entire society of the misnomer black human is being destroyed with toxic drugs, chemicals, and electromagnetic energy or radiation. When you get sick, they want to give you radiation. Man, I don't listen. I shared the whole lecture of a European man that healed people from cancer in different countries. I don't care about the color. Way before what's your brother name? I can't even think of the brother name. The guy that died, the dude that everybody liked, that left eye help healer. When I show y'all all this stuff where it come from, I have the documents where it come from before these people. I met a European doctor in a whole different country that been healing people. I shared it on my YouTube channel. I wish one of my nobles say the name. I can't think of the name, but I'll pull a document up. They ain't gonna let you come to the States and do it. These toxic drugs are directly and indirectly being forced upon our community by these different people that don't look like you, and the ones that took an oath that look like you to misdiagnose you. The misnomer black human also participate in this inhumane procedure due to lack of awareness of your past, your present, and your future, and his reason for existing on this planet and in this universe. I'm trying to bring something back to you. The misnomer black human's body chemistry is the most refined, complex, and sophisticated on any human species in existence today. And this refinement shows itself in the high mental and physical capabilities, as well as the tailored facial features and the body structure of the misnomer black human. For people that listen to me, understand and identify with these physical capabilities, but many deny the mental capabilities due to Western civilization. I'm gonna tell you that your mental processes, your brain power, are controlled by the same chemical that give the misnomer black humans their superior physical, athletic, rhythmic dancing abilities. This chemical, again, brothers and sisters, is your melanin. The Japanese and other Orientals have high melanin levels that misnomer other, no disrespect, that other nationalities they don't have. They are demonstrating excellent mental capabilities. When you see those Chinese kids, they learning math, they read, they studying martial arts in their schools. While that's giving our kids the tablet. You can go to their schools, they studying martial arts. They studying chemistry. They studying numbers. They're building. They have a superior technology that they are marketing around the world. One then must ask, why haven't the misnomer black man progressed in this society? Why? What is keeping us from obtaining high goals? Why are other human species with less mental, physical capabilities, 100% less, able to acquire wealth, own and run large corporations, and lead nations effectively? Why people are able to come from dictator countries and come buy your whole neighborhood and kick you out because you don't want to live in your community, and they come buy your whole neighborhood and kick you out and move you into apartments and stack you up? Look at our neighborhoods in the city of Flint. It's all raggedy. Every neighborhood, I can go to neighborhood, from block to block, and show you it's all raggedy. Ain't no misnomer white person did that. Retarded niggas did that. Excuse my candor. Retarded Negroes are going in their neighborhood and tear it all up and firebomb it, and your grandmama or your auntie or your dad live next to that bull crap while we go in the club spending the money. It includes major concerns such as lack of economic independence, lack of leadership, lack of organization. I don't believe in the crab effect because crabs don't do that, but I'll call it an effect. Poor education, lack of knowledge of our great history, poor health, negative Western influence, inferiority complex. We are faced with many problems as people, and each problem must be studied and solved individually. That's what I did with my oral dissertations. That's what I'm able to do with my dissertations. And now we have this internet where I can astroplane to people's houses, where I can astroplane to our houses, and we don't understand this. And not just drugs, a domino effect killed it. Because the kids ain't on dope, but how they've been programmed to look at each other and look at their communities as the hood. We go back and say, oh, this our hood. This the block. It ain't no hood. This ain't no block. This your community. Because when you was a kid, the whole neighborhood was filled. It was beautiful. I could show you documents of Flint, Michigan, and the neighborhood I grew up in. Every house was occupied with families. All the grasses is cut. Now it ain't nothing but plight. And big corporations is spending $1 million to buy all this stuff up, kicking Negroes out their community. I'm telling you what I know. So drugs didn't just kill it. Miseducation did it. Poor health. A lack of understanding have done all that. Drugs is just a part. Because I can show you how to get off the drugs. If the Holy Spirit can take over your body, if you holy, when I use the power of reverse esoteric psychology, these young people killing each other in my city of Flint. Why? Because they don't love themselves. They don't see themselves as gods. I can reverse that. It's not just drugs. Drugs is one part, but it's a plethora of things. It's not understanding who we are. That's the main synopsis of this whole thing. Drugs was just one aspect. Messed up foods was another one. Poor schools was another one. Public housing was one. Welfare was one. When a misnomer woman went against their own husband in the house, we ain't have no problem with our women working. All that stuff. Man-made religion, all of that has an effect on why our communities look like it is. It's not just drugs. Drugs are just one tittle. And we are faced with many problems as a people. And each problem must be studied and solved. All of the problems which are affecting the misnomer black human cannot be solved overnight. As expertise and professionalism should grow in the misnomer black community. In the misnomer black community. I ask how many of us on here are educated and anointed? And how many of us that just work a dead-end job and gonna try and say, well, I'm gonna retire when this. You're gonna be tired, you ain't gonna be able to do no work. What are you doing with your money today? What are misnomer black people doing with their money today? Because we can talk, but what are we doing with their money today? Because I own property with my own little pennies. I own down near a whole block in my city under our organization. Me and my muftis, we own land all around. I try to bring these teachers back to our people. It's not just talking, it's using our resources. It's bringing everybody to the storehouse. It is believed that major problems and concerns will eventually be addressed by misnomer blacks with a particular professionalism unique to the problem and concern. And that's what I'm doing, provided the individual is conscious and has developed an understanding, an Afrocentric mentality. When I say Afrocentric mentality, understanding who you are, loving your people, understanding how far we digress. This approach is hazardous, but until we unite as a people, it will have to suffice. We must unite as a people. I don't care what flag you have. It's one nationality, many cultures. We got to understand this. So what is melanin? I got a little bit more time. Just like here it is, I got my other system with my people from GCU up. I have 14 students on here. Was like, well, you've been teaching this. They all gave donations. I get on here. I'm not a beggar, but it takes people that call themselves bays and this and want to open a temple just to do something that we teach it instead of building something. We don't need a whole bunch of the same people. We don't need nobody to think that they're more powerful than this person. We need people to be students. To learn something first. To learn. To resurrect yourself, to teach your children something, to teach your wife something, especially these Moors that have children and women. I say, well, what do your wife believe in? What do your children believe in? Nothing. Nothing. Well, let me respond. Hold on, let me respond to something. Somebody just hit me up, was like, Sheik, are you coming back to the city of Flint? I just left my home state. And tried to show people how to buy our community for tennis shoe money. It fall on deaf ears. I got to deal with people that don't look like me, and they come in the community and I have all their ear, and I take them from neighborhood to neighborhood, and they give me pennies and they help me buy land. They give me money because hell, money ain't nothing to them. They understand about buying land. Our people don't. They want somebody to give them something. I have a gift. All we're going to do is pay somebody when you get in trouble, but don't use your finances to do something good. So what is melanin? It's the most frequently asked question that I have when I be lecturing to my misnomer black people. When the subject of melanin enters into any conversation. Throughout your entire life, we as misnomer blacks, we recognize melanin visually as the black chemical in our skin, in our eyes, in our hair. However, for the past several hundred years, it has not sparked our interest. But the Europeans study this to a T. That's how they know how to beat you. We just take it for granted or feel negative about it because it causes the misnomer black man so many problems and discomforts in Western society. But melanin has chemical and physical properties, personal traits, which distinguish it from other chemicals. And is so fantastic, it may be considered divine. That's why these young brothers killing each other. They don't understand about their melanin. They don't understand who they are. They don't understand that we own our communities and they don't want to learn it. But other people that want to beat you, they want to learn. They want me to teach them. And I can't continue to do this. But if I'm a teacher, I got to teach somebody. Our people shouldn't be afraid to give donations to build up. You shouldn't be afraid to build your library up with your brother that's anointed and consecrated and educated, that look just like you. It should be fezzes and turbans all through our communities, especially that brothers that call themselves bays. I ask anybody that's on here that's identified as a Moor, the first thing I ask them is, do you have a fez? And most of them say no. I say, well, why are you just calling yourself a bay? Because one thing to obey your mother than your forefathers and to be under this science is to wear your fez, to wear your turban, to find a sheik and to study with. Those are outward appreciations of who you are. Those are self-identifications. If the National Guard blew the horn right now and say, all Moors, you must come right now with your fez and your ordination, and we'll let you free. We'll be able to go to your land. Most Negroes that call themselves Moors, they don't have a fez. You can call on they say, well, what society are you a part of? Because that's a nation, that's a community. Most of these people are not a part of nothing. And they don't want to be. They want to create their own. But if it's already created, why don't you want to be a part of a society that means something? Because you're not no sovereign citizen on your own. You can't be. Ain't no such, that's an oxymoron. I ask all these brothers that got bay this and all that. I say, well, do you have a fez? No. Do you have a turban? No. Do you know what the fez mean? No. No. The blackness of melanin is a physical property. And this physical property, blackness, only designates the color of melanin. And melanin has other physical properties such as odor. Melanin has a pleasant smell, which is important in sexual attraction. This odor may be attributed to highly aromatic perfume traits, amines or nitrogen functional groups, and sulfur or elemental and mental content within its structure. Thermal resistance. Melanin can be exposed to 1,225 Fahrenheit and retain approximately 50% of its original properties. Toughness. Melanin structure of aromatic rings makes it rigid but flexible like rubber or plastic. This physical property is why misnomer black human skin is tough and hard to penetrate with a medical syringe. Melanin also causes the expression, the flamboyant, and the cocky nature of misnomer black people. That's where you get your toughness from. So in this dissertation, I'm just going to give you a little discussion, and I'm going to discuss melanin with regard to its chemical properties or chemical personality. And this approach may begin to help the misnomer black man realize your greatness and your super potential. I'm going to show you a figure which most people may not know. I might not show the figures because you won't know what I'm looking at if you don't know biology, but I'll show the figure anyway. The chemical structure of melanin. I'm going to show you a figure. So when you take a good look at this chemical structure and then you commit to memory, copy the structure on paper repeatedly, and this will help you memorize it in an easy manner. You should be very familiar with this structure. It has caused the misnomer black human much bloodshed and suffering just because it is black. However, black humans, please remember, melanin is a very great and marvelous molecule because it organizes and supports virtually all areas within your misnomer black body and keep you in constant contact with the chemistries of the universe. I'll just show y'all little things. So you said obtaining a Fez come in degrees. Not everyone will wear it or make it to that level. And I'm going to say that's not true. I'm going to tell you that's not true. Fez, that's not true. See, we say things, that's why I say, no disrespect. No, it ain't. If you part of Morris Science Temple and you come in as a student, the first thing you do is self-identify is wear your Fez. Degrees come in graduating. Just because you have a Fez don't mean you graduated. You are in a schoolhouse. Just because you get a black belt don't mean you a master. That means you're willing to learn. So the first thing of our appreciation is wearing your Fez. That's culture. It's in our 101s. It's in our divine creed. That's why I tell people I don't mean no disrespect to anyone. I'm from the temple. The first thing when you come into it, okay, I'll give an analogy. If you part of a team and you make the team and you say, well, man, I ain't the captain, so I'm not going to come to practice and I'm not going to wear the jerseys and I'm not going to wear all the practice gear and I'm not going to get the lesson plans until I come to a certain level. No, you're part of this culture. So being a part of this culture, we self-identify by wearing the Fez. I teach the degrees. So if you welcome in my dojo and I say, we have a uniform. I'm your Sufi, I'm your sensei, and I say, all my brothers have uniform, and we come in as uniform, a self-identifying to this dojo. That ain't got nothing to do with degrees. That don't have nothing to do with degrees. This tassel, my tassel is 18 inches, just like when I graduated and got my bachelor's degree. I wore a certain graduation cap, a certain stole over my neck. When I got my master's degree, my attire changed. When I get my doctoral degree, my whole attire changed and my hat changed. Those are the degrees, but when you enter the house of schooling, you're supposed to identify with everybody that's part of that structure. When you get into law school or when you get into being a doctor, you have to have a certain attire. You have to have a certain uniform to identify with the teachings. That don't mean you all the way there yet. You are in the house. That means you self-identify. So I get what a person's saying. But obtaining a Fez is just showing outward appreciation. Wearing your yarmulke, wearing your kufi, wearing your turban, wearing your shemag. Those are outward symbologies of who you are. And when a person say everyone you say everyone will wear it or make it to that level. We all gonna make it to the level. If you got a good teacher and a good mapping guide, once again, that's where masonry comes in. That's that spookism. That's that spookism. This is a gift freely given. If the prophet was alive, the prophet didn't say, oh, you don't get a fez until you get these degrees. Once you become a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, one thing is wearing your fez, and the teacher teach you that. The sheik teach you about your fez. Yeah, Noble, I'm on YouTube as well, Noble Brian. You should jump on there too. All my muftis, y'all should jump on YouTube as well. All my muftis. For y'all can fact check things. One of my other muftis on here, Dre Shine. My other mufti on here is Malik. That's not true. That's not true. Maybe obtaining a fez comes in degrees. Not everyone will wear it or make it to that level. So if you study in Moorish science and you came to the storehouse, I don't see why you have to get to a certain level to wear a fez. That's not true. That's just not true. We may think that because that's what people be telling us, they want power over you. But I don't have power over you. I give you the power. You are a god. You are a noble. And wearing your fez and your turban is an outward appreciation. Coming to teachings, finding a sheik that can teach you the degrees, that's a part of studying more science. And how are you going to know the degrees if you're not willing to come learn? My tassel give me my degrees. The black fez is the muftis. That means you ready to learn, just synonymous to a black belt in martial arts. See, a misnomer person that's not under martial arts, they'll think the black belt is it. But a black belt just means you ready to learn. That's all a black belt means. It's different gulps of black belt. A black belt don't mean you know master. And when you're dealing with true teachers and when you're dealing with true hand-to-hand combat, we don't even wear belts. We wear a white belt. Why? Because I'm not finna show you, or you think, oh, because I got this level of belt on, that you think, oh, well, he know this. A person can go buy a black belt. It's the wisdom. I don't even need a fez. But if we under culture, this is a topi. This is a benin. So when people are brought up in things, babies wear their fez. Little kids wear their topi. We gonna tell our youngsters, oh, you don't know a certain wisdom. You can't wear your topi and your fez. That's not true. And this is an example of melanin molecule. I'll show you an example of melanin molecules. But we might not know what that is, but all my students do. It's many types of melanin, and each type structure depends on the monomer, the units utilized. And at that time of this teaching, the exact structure is not known. Melanin is an extremely stable molecule and resists most advanced methods of analysis, such as resistance to digestion by strong acids and bases, X-rays, diffraction. To date, the research developed on melanin attests it is indeed a fantastic molecule. Your melanin is power. This is what I tell people. Sometimes we need to be slow to speak. We don't make excuses no more. We are in an age of information. We don't make excuses why we don't know. We get into the know. I'm here to bring my people into the know. I'm not here to make no excuses because it ain't no excuses no more. That's those rights. That's that European, that Negro Freemasonry, and that old crazy stuff that you get from all these different Moors. Say, oh no, you have to have degrees before you get the fez. That's a lie. I'll take you to Fez, Morocco, and I'll show you all the babies, all the kids. Everybody wear the fez because it's part of their culture. It's part of their life. It's part of their womb. This ain't no Freemasonry. This is our culture. I'm not talking about no Freemasonry. The word melanin, when broke down into the subcomponents, may be defined as follows. Melano, M-E-L-A-N-O. Yep, I got a couple minutes left. What you say, Noble? Like, you damn right, Noble. I know. And I come from love, man. I come from love. We've been bamboozled and hoodwinked by a lot of these people that act like they Freemasons. They try to act like that, to have something over you. And if it come with degrees, how you going to get the degrees? How you going to be initiated if a person haven't went through the ranks? If you don't even like school, if you don't like math, reading, and arithmetic. So how can a person get to a level when they done dropped out of school in the 3rd grade? Or they don't know how to read, or they don't know linguistics, or they don't know history? How you going to get to certain degrees? How? I'm not talking about you went through some adapt chamber with some goofy Negro on the phone that just regurgitating a whole bunch of bull crap, because that ain't the clock of destiny. Melano, the Greek word equals black. The word male, M-E-L, is derived from melano. Therefore, male equals black. A-N-I-N. is derived from a similar word called amines, like amino acids. AMINE is a nitrogen-based functional group derived from amino, the acronym NH3, and is designated in chemistry as a hydrocarbon amine, which is when it's attached to a hydrocarbon. And hydrocarbons are chemical units that contain carbon and hydrogen atoms. I'm gonna show y'all another figure. You sir, everything comes in degrees. You walk, you run. I get what you're saying, Noble, but I get what you're saying, but that's not in context of what we're talking about. When you say everything comes in degrees, you walk before you run. That's not a degree, that's a process, Noble. So the process of wearing a fez is, it must be your culture. That's a process. But I understand what you're saying. I'm not here to argue with no one. If that's how we feel, I get that. That's why a lot of Moors don't wear a fez, because they think that, oh, I got to get the degrees. But how are you going to get the degrees if you're not part of a culture, if you're not part of a group? I don't mean no disrespect to no one, but I understand. I'm not no one's enemy. I'm people brothers. That's why our prophet said, once you come under right teachings, you're supposed to see the whole world with fezzes and turbans on. And we know how to walk now. If we adults, I ask every man, do you know how to walk? Yep. Do you know how to walk upright? Do you know your name? Yep. Do you know how to run? Yep. Do you know how to do all that? Okay. So then the next question I ask you, so why don't you have a fez? If we say we a bay and an L, because before, if I'm a bay or an L, and I identify and I write my name and I spell my name as Bay and I don't have a fez, I think that's backwards. It's just backwards. And I don't think I start pulling out my documents from the temple. I'm from the temple, but I created my own school because I don't want brothers and sisters to be caught up with that dogma. With somebody telling you they got to nationalize you and denationalize you and telling you that they're going to take you through some adapt chamber and all they want is money from you. And you're going to come out just as stupid as you were before you went in. And I'm not talking about no one. They're going to tell you all misnomers of what the clock of destiny is because they don't have a true understanding of the clock of destiny. It's all internet stuff. That's why I never be shut down with what I'm doing. I'm a teacher. That's it. And I teach other people to go out in the world and save themselves. So before a person say they are Bay and L, I ask them, do you have a fez and do you have a turban? They say no. And I say, why not? Because there's a reason why we don't. What we going to say, because I'm not under any degrees? And I say, well, what degree? When you put the L and the Bay under your name, I'll show you. That's when I put the fez on your head. When you get your Bay and your L, when you understand that should come with your fez of understanding. Before we annex our Bay and L to the name that our mother gave us at birth. Brothers and sisters, it appears that a chemical that is really a black hydrocarbon, amine, is the substance that has caused the misnomer black man most of the suffering and oppression for over 2,000 years. But chemicals are even toxic from a social culture and political viewpoint. But I break things down to show you in chemistry. I don't want to get too deep in it because I have to pull up my charts and show you how this is why we're lost. Because we quick to speak and we don't know when we don't want to learn. And we regurgitate things because we watched a lot of videos and it's been popular. So we just start speaking and speaking what somebody else said, not from a place of knowing. And then the first thing I ask a person, are you from the temple? Do you know anything? Do you have any true teachings? And forget the temple. Do you have any true knowledge? Because and here go another fact. Before the Moorish Science Temple of America, you had Deuce Muhammad Ali. Research Deuce Muhammad. Research Deuce Muhammad and research Abdul Hamid Solomon. Research Deuce Muhammad and see, was he part of some Moorish Science Temple of America? This was before our prophet. Our prophet was inspired by great men before him. Wasn't Michael Jordan inspired? Wasn't Kareem inspired? Wasn't LeBron James inspired? So our prophet is not the only Moor. He just created the Moorish Science Temple of America. This science of Sufism and Tasawwuf is old. It's people that took your fez and wore it in clandestine. So why would we continue to send our brothers and sisters under clandestine? Research Deuce Muhammad And all those brothers before here in that World Affairs, I started pulling out all ancient documents of brothers that World Affairs way before the Moorish Science Temple of America. Because it's culture. And once you understand your culture, then that's it. Moorish science is something that the Prophet created, the Moorish Science Temple of America. But these teachings, this Sufism, this Tasawwuf, when I start pulling out books of Mordine, of Sheikh Bamboo Falls. Watch, hold on. Let me see if I can pull this stuff out. Let me see if I got this stuff. It'll take me forever to pull out all documents. When I start pulling out Sheikh Sufi, when I start pulling out Credo Matua, it's brothers that World Affairs because it's community. It's part of our culture. I keep telling you, we have been stripped of our culture. And all we do is regurgitate some stuff. This not no European or no Negro Freemasonry stuff. This not it. So I'll leave y'all with this little part. Melanin is black simply because it is chemical structure, and it will not allow any type of energy to escape once the energy has come into contact with its structure. A number of steps must take place within the melanin structure to accomplish this task of being totally efficient towards capturing energy. When the steps are complete, no energy is reflected away from the surface of the melanin structure. The human eye sees the color of an object as light reflects from the surface of that object. If no light or energy is reflected, then the object will appear to the eye to be black in color. If all of the energy is reflected from the surface of an object, the object will appear, how? White in color. If an object is red in color, that means the object is absorbing all energy around it, except the red energy, which is reflected away from that object. The eyes capture and process the red light that is reflected. Therefore, you see red. So when you look a little deeper at melanin, how it captures energy, because I see the energy, how people operate in. I'll be telling people that I know the energy that a person gonna come in. That's why I come in peace. And the only thing that's gonna destroy hate and anything is peace. A person I don't fight an enemy. I come in peace because I'm not here to destroy. I'm not no brother's enemy. I come in peace. That's why I say peace, 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 peace. I'm not here to have nobody to teach nobody nothing that talk about you gotta do this and it's this and the other. This is a gift. I teach this to babies. I can bring one of my 12-year-old students that have way more wisdom than a person that have their bay and their L and they a grown man. And one of my 12-year-old students will be like, well, that's not true, sir. And they'll get mad because this kid is an adapt. I bring a kid that'll whoop a grown person in chess because they're students. They're master students. You under the right teachings. And when you under the right teachings, when you part of a society, when you part of a brotherhood, the first thing you must do under that brotherhood is identify. If I say the feds is a part of us identifying as our culture, well, that's the first thing that you should want. When I anoint you, or when you understand your L and your Bay and you annex it to your name, I mean, come on. I teach you the science. That's how we're going to be a community. Thank you, Noble Drayshawn. Thank you. When you see the European Jew when they wear their yarmulke, and I teach so many European Jews that's babes in teachings. They don't know nothing about the Sephiroths. They don't know nothing about the Kabbalah, but it's part of their culture. It's their blood right, they say. So what do? They wear their yarmulke. They wear their stole that I have with the Old Testament on it. They wear their clothes with the fringes. They might not know any science, but it's self-identifying of their culture, of who they are. They self-identify. That's what I said. We don't self-identify. We think it's some Freemason. We think these Moors can make you someone nationalized, and these Negroes can't nationalize nobody. They can't change you what your foremothers and foremothers did. If those Negroes could, tell them to nationalize a Sudanese, a Chinese. I broke all the laws down. I broke that. The 1099 ain't nothing but a trust. I show this to people. We self-identify, and that's the problem with us. We make excuses of why we don't self-identify because we've been taught wrong. And I don't mean no disrespect to no one. When you look closer, melanin captures energy, light energy from the sun or artificial sources like your indoor light bulb or your vibrational sounds from your stereo. All cause melanin to be black in color. For instance, a light wave leaves the sun or your stereo in the form of energy particles and or vibrational sounds and travels in space until it contains the melanin structure in your skin. That's why a lot of music now, it depletes the melanin. It's done on purpose. And other areas of your body where it's absorbed by melanin. Hold on, I gotta take this call. That was my wife. But it affects the structure in your skin and other areas of the body where it's absorbed by melanin. And melanin may be viewed as a battery that is partially charged and can always accept an electrical charge. That's why my Mufti Malik said your battery is halfway full. And if your battery is halfway full, you should be able to accept an electrical charge from the source. If not, then we lost. Energy particle, the sun, the melanin battery, 50% charge. And when the energy particle from the sunlight or your stereo comes in contact with the plus pole of the melanin battery, it will increase the charge of the melanin battery to a certain degree. Say 60%. I'm gonna show you a pictorial. So if you got a 60% charge, I'll show you the previous level, the new charge level, and your melanin battery. If you know what you're looking at. If you know what you're looking at when you need a charge. That's why I tell my people, we got to get the right teachings and not be thinking we know something, especially from brothers, no disrespect, that don't study. That's not under elders like myself and others. That's not able to bring something back to my brothers and say, you ain't got to listen to me. I'll tell everybody to research what I'm saying. That's what I tell my brothers and sisters. Research what I'm saying. Yep, exactly. You say in Africa, we can network. I network with a lot of my brothers from the continent of Africa. Already. We building already here in the States. A lot of brothers from the continent of Africa is coming here in the States. I deal with a lot of brothers and sisters. And when the energy is captured, the melanin battery has more energy to utilize in the body metabolism and the memory process. Melanin obtains this energy free directly from its surroundings. And this means that misnomer black humans can charge up our melanin just by being in the sun or around the right type of music sounds or the right type of energy sources. When I say light brings light to understanding, you have to be around the proper energy sources. You are energy. I'm energy. That's why a person can come around a person and they'll be like, man, I'm depleted. Because they'll be like, this person just run off at the mouth. They'll be like, I know they don't know nothing. You be like, man, all this stuff this person saying come from the internet. You would deplete a person's light. But when you come around true light seekers and true adapts, a person's light bulb will be charged. You might come around me with low energy. You're going to leave with me and your energy and your cup is going to be runners over. Why? Because it happens all the time. It happens all the time. When I come around people and they energy be depleted, especially when I be dealing with a lot of my brothers that just got out of prison, when I come around them, they be like, Sheik, I don't wish nothing on you, but if you was in a prison, you have all these people. They're like, but our people think they free. Because there's a certain energy, it's a certain wisdom, it's a certain understanding, it's a certain love that I come with my brothers. And we should be able to be corrected with love. We should be able to be corrected with love, especially if all our teachers come from the internet. Especially if we got Elder Bear in our name and we don't have a fez and somebody tell you, oh, to get a fez, it gotta be degrees. No, this is part of our culture. Wearing your fez, having a sheik, wearing your tunic, coming to class, that's part of your culture. Annexing your Elder Bear, that's part of your culture. I could teach you the degrees. I can teach you the degrees. But first we have to self-identify. How do I know a person identify as a Moor and I walk past them and they look like a rapper and they don't have a fez or a turban on? I don't know who you are by just walking past, just because your skin is dark. That don't mean nothing to me. These are the things that I teach, man. So I don't mean no disrespect to no one. I just want to give a little introduction of what that melanin is. I have a lot more to teach about melanin. That's why they have all these books on Amazon worth thousands and thousands of dollars, because they don't want brothers to teach it. They know the average Negro is not going to have the wisdom. They know this. They're going to keep you depleted. They're going to keep your energy tapped. That's why they have us fighting against each other. That's why they have us fighting against each other. That's why they use brothers with a little bit of wisdom to try to sit to a PhD like myself and others that's anointed and consecrated and try to tell them something. That's why I get upset with a lot of my people. I'm not mad or angry, but most of these brothers, their wisdom has came from the internet. They call people a grand sheik, and I say a grand sheik is somebody that you can touch, just like your mother is your mother. A sheik is a map and a guide of a small group of people. That's why I don't get offense when people jump on my Facebook or my YouTube and say, "Oh, you not no sheik?" I say, "No, I'm not your sheik. That's okay. I'm not. I don't mind that." But when you look at me and you look at all these people that came before me, see where they at right now. See where, oh, gratitude, Derek, gratitude. I'm glad one of my brothers know what I have on, and it's alchemy. Absolutely. And that's what I tell people. I said, our Moorish Quran is gathered and compiled from the Unto Thee I Grant, which is one of the Rosicrucian manuals. I can show you chapters of the Moorish Quran is word from word out of the Unto Thee I Grant. But you have to have a true teacher to show you that. Because our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, said he gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared. I can show you chapters out the Brahmin text. That's word for word in the Moorish Quran. Word for word. I can show you in the Moorish Akashic records. That's word for word in the Moorish Quran. Noble Drew Ali didn't say he, the originator of this. He said he gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared. The same thing that I have done. Bringing things back to my brothers and sisters. Hey, brother, hey, listen, he said the sun down here in Texas be depleting me. It's too hot down here. Brother, it's not. I'm glad. See, that's why I love when my brothers speak. Brother, I promise you, the sun can't deplete you. I just broke down you are melanin. I have these documents. Go on Amazon and see how much this costs. I have these books in my library. You can get this for a donation. I'll send it to your PDF, or my company will print it and bind it for you. If everybody wants this book, everybody on here, all you got to do is, man, give me a $20 donation. I'll give you this and slicomacy. The sun can't deplete you. You are sun-kissed, brother. The sun can't deplete you. I'm in Arizona. It's 111, 112. The sun gives me energy. Once you understand that, once I show you how to use the power of reverse esoteric psychology, once I show you the possession of the jinn, once I show you how to sun gaze in the right way, and then I can take you to the Library of Congress where doctors, Europeans, have done this. Just like when you watch G.I. Joe and you see the mercenary brothers, those two European brothers, no disrespect, and they say they from South Africa, and when they get in the sun, they turn blue. That's why I be telling us we've been misdiagnosed. And this is what I'm telling people. I've done these lectures in academia with professors, with doctors. I done sat under the microscope. Nothing is too hot. You have to understand how to accept those sun rays to re-energize you. I'm telling y'all, man. That's what your melanin is. That's why you got to have a good knowledge of chemistry, a good knowledge of biochemistry, electricity and magnetism, physics, metaphysics, organic chemical reactions, mechanisms, biological life functions, and social systems can evaluate the melanin structure visually and predict. That's why when I speak of things, I said, brother, man, we supposed to be in these warm places. They took, just like when you research Queen Nanny, of the Jamaican Maroons. They took a lot of us and sent us to Nova Scotia, to cold places. That's why when a lot of the powers that be came to the continent of Africa and they was trying to put poison in the food and corn, and they was like, well, why these melanated people are not getting sick? Because the sun was rejuvenized them. Then they started bringing sunglasses. Then they started bringing Coca-Cola. We're supposed to be in the warm sun places. Your melanin is power, and they don't teach this. They don't teach this in the churches. We think we win it because we can buy clothes and we can do all this stuff, and we're not winning. I ask every person that own their own company, what do you own in your community? We're supposed to be going back to our communities and building it up. What do you know about your central nervous system? That includes the brain and the spinal cord. When you see the matrix and you saw that brain connected to that spinal cord, do you know what that consists of? That soft column of nerve tissue enclosed within the bones of your spine, the areas of the brain, the spinal cord, where melanin is found are. That's the whole analogy of the matrix. It's the melanin, the substantia nigra, the midbrain, the reticular formation, the ventral tegmental area, the pontine reticular formation, the locus coeruleus. I'm telling you, man, once I start showing you your body, when I say man is made in the image of Elohim, when I talk about the most holy place, and a quarter roundabout, I say man is made in the image of Elohim. Gratitude, what you say, I appreciate you for taking time out your day to give this knowledge, bro. I give gratitude to you, man, for accepting the knowledge. And I'm telling you, man, I tell all my people to look me up. I'm from a little city called Flint, Michigan. I came out to Arizona. I'm 3,000 miles away from home. I came out here and graduated from colleges. I teach European Masons that people think heavy. That's 32 degrees, but 32 degrees ain't nothing but when water freezes in meteorology. That's snowman wisdom. That's snowman wisdom. That's snowman wisdom. And I've been teaching this for decades, and it falls on deaf ears to my brothers and sisters. And I teach this, and I come out here to Arizona, and every European look at me as Melchizedek or they teacher. When I have lectures at the college campuses, it's packed. When I come back home, Brother Bash, when I go back to Flint, Michigan, and I have lectures, I don't see none of my people. And then they're going to get mad at me because I buy the whole damn neighborhood. And people give their money to Uncle Sam and to the church, and they don't know nothing about tax codes. They don't know nothing about allodial deeds. They don't know nothing about it. It don't have nothing to do with no house. It have to do with land. I've been teaching this from scholarship for years, brother. And it fall on deaf ears to my brothers and sisters. I tell people, I don't care if you have a house. You paying property taxes, you don't own nothing. Don't pay your property taxes and see what happened. Don't pay your property taxes and see what happened. But we let these real estate agents and all this, and they don't tell you the truth of how much they making off your taxes. I break these numbers down. I've been teaching this and show you how much that the money that you spending on taxes and how you can take this money and build. I've been teaching this because we don't know who we are, brothers and sisters. We don't know our melanin has so much power. We so religiously crazy. You got the so-called black Muslim, the black Mason, the black Hebrew Israelite, the black Christian, and all that's man-made religion. And all that's man-made religion. And I come on here and teach. When I teach at the colleges out here, and they say, you don't have to ask for a donation. Y'all can pull me up on YouTube. I've been doing this in college campuses forever. I have a full library, over 1 million books and documents of ancient wisdom to walk you through how to buy back your community. That Nipsey Hussle drug dealer stuff, that mess don't work. You will get audited. We don't know about the religious laws and how it trump everything and how we must organize. I've been teaching this and it's been falling on deaf ears. Nobody's going to come back to our city of Flint, which is all plight now, and build it up. No one. When you talk about the city council and the mayors, I'm in tune with it. All them Negroes doing is arguing. Ever since Eric Mays died, and before Eric Mays died, all they've been doing is been arguing. I have a full library. Most Negroes won't even hit me up and say, brother, I'm looking for this. They'll go to Amazon and spend all their money. But how much is this on Amazon? And all the books I showed order earlier. I showed y'all, I showed people Noble Derrick 8 books on Amazon, and the total price came to $8,000. And I'll give them to my people for small donations, and we'll print and bind them. So if they charge this much for books and other documents I have, why the hell do you think that they charge that much? And I'm on my YouTube channel. I'm telling people, I'm on my YouTube channel right now. I got people following me. We act like we Crips and Bloods. We all brothers and sisters with wisdom. We should have been came together and made a conglomerate. We should have been came together as a conglomerate. Y'all go back on my lecture earlier today. I broke down 8 books, just like Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov. That's Stacks. This book is Stacks. The hidden cause of the Civil War on Amazon. Stacks. I have a full library. Watch this. Watch this. This is what wisdom has done for me. Go on Amazon and see how much these books cost. Stacks. This is a real NFT. An NFT where you can download something to your tablet and then print it and then share it with your brother and sisters. This is a liquid asset. This is the NFT. Why would you go on Amazon and buy some paper? It ain't worth all that money they trying to sell it for. Why? Go on Amazon and see how much this costs. The hidden cause of the Civil War. I can't even pull everything out because I got too much and I don't want to do that. I've done this a plethora of times, over and 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 over. You say, I went and got some used and then found your PDF, man, way cheaper. What your PDF, again, it's been a while since I have been on there. And then, brother, I share my email address with people. My email address is Goodman, GOODMAN, KHARY, @gmail.com. I share my email with people. I ain't hiding from nobody. Anything that you think is on Amazon or that's not on my company page, I have databases. I'll get it right to you for pennies of the dollar. My muftis on here. Let me see. I don't know why none of my muftis talking. I got one of my muftis, Drayshawn, on here. Who else? One of my muftis, Lamarck, on here. Another one of my muftis, Drayshawn, on here on my YouTube page. They'll tell you. Ask them what their library look like. They can go right now to any college or university and study history, science, and mathematics, and I guarantee you they'll graduate with high honors. Guarantee you. Because I went through the fire already. I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. We all act like Crips and Bloods. We all get a tittle of wisdom, and then we go in our corner. We'll never own nothing. It's supposed to be strong brothers like Victorious Youngblood, like Thurman Tipton, like everybody else that's from my city, like Kim, and then all my people that's from different areas, like all my brothers on YouTube that come back and say, you know what? Let's buy our community. How? With the money that we going out and eat and drink and partying and bullshitting with. Let me show y'all how to have our stuff structured under a whole different tax bracket. And a lot of stuff will be donated to me. I'm from West Patterson Street. I own every house that I grew up in, and I gave them to family members. People be lying. My brother lost a house for back taxes. Back taxes is pennies. My uncle stayed in the house. We stayed on the corner. But I don't buy raggedy houses no more. I buy land. It's a street called Mount Elliott Street. When you go up Patterson Street, turn right, I damn near own the whole block for $200 a lot. I don't need no raggedy houses. It costs too much to fix it up. I'm going to put double wides on it. One side is going to be what we live on. The other side is going to be what? Homes. This is why I tell my brothers and sisters, we lost. Niggas is playing around. Excuse my candor. We steady rapping and bullshitting and spending our money. And ain't nothing wrong with rapping. But I have a gift. I've been teaching this. I've been in Arizona for over 12 years. We own land. I own plight in my neighborhood. Who's going to come back in your neighborhood and show you how to do this but your own brother? Y'all know my dad. My dad is Larry Goodman. My dad was the executive director for Genesee County. Y'all know my dad. It takes all of us. And every Negro got a couple dollars. Why? Because when I came back to Flint, I seen everybody partying and bullshitting and staying next to raggedy ass houses. We don't even have no damn farms in our neighborhood. We don't have no gardens. This shit is simple. Excuse my candor. I give this stuff away for free. Don't y'all know Land Bank got a whole list? And then once you structure yourself as a religious organization that's tax exempt for the federal government, because Victoria, you are a minister. You should be set up as a nonprofit religious organization. You should be tax exempt for the federal government. Anytime you buying land or teaching, you should be under a whole different tax bracket. But see, nobody would teach us this. Only the churches to do it. Why you think the churches own everything? Why you think the church can have a parsonage? Why you think the church have a parsonage? That's tax exempt. Why you think everything a part of the church is tax exempt? His clothes, the furniture and everything is under a different tax code. The cars and everything. I know what I'm talking about. Hell, Reverend Floyd's son worked for my dad. And then you got these Moors like, the white man, the 501c3, this man. Listen, I deal with real law. I deal with tax codes. Everybody that got a job, I bet you paying taxes. And I bet you most people, when you get a job, you look at that job application. When you get the job, you agree for the powers to be to take certain dollars out your taxes. Some people won't let them take the most because you think you're getting a tax return. Man, but looking at that is just like looking at your consumer bill. People don't know what they talking about. So when you deal with 501c3, because you got 501c3 all the way to 10, the first thing that a Negro will say was, well, that's that white man stuff. But I deal with business. I deal with organization. This ain't no white man nothing. I'm under the religious laws. I'm telling people how to organize. Organize. Because the religious laws trump anything. The religious laws trump everything. The religious laws trump everything. I know from all the way to 501c3, all the way to 50c10. I know all the laws. I know all of the stuff, how to do things. And the religious laws trump a lot of stuff. I'm just telling people that most people are not under the religious banner. So it's going to fall on deaf ears. I hear what people be saying, but I'm under the religious laws. I'm a divine minister. I'm under a whole different understanding. That's why I'm able to get donations from people and give them a tax exempt receipt. That's why they're able to decipher the money that they give to Uncle Sam, and they're able to file exempt, not just for 6 months, not just for a year, but forever. And your preacher ain't gonna teach you that because I'm a private banking system. That's why you're able to file exempt when you're dealing with me, and I'm able to give you a tax exempt receipt to take to your tax preparer to offset your taxes. And then in each state, you got to know what dollar amount to donate to your religious and charitable contribution to give Uncle Sam less money. This is what I tell people. I tell people it don't matter what banner you are. They're not going to teach you this. Why? Because it's all for them. And when I came out here to Arizona and I go to all these different places and I go to all these different, when I say you are a church, I will have to teach all this. You are a church. Think about it. You are a church per se. The Moorish Science Temple of America, when I showed y'all how the temple was set up, when I opened a state booklet, I just showed everybody this the other day. The Moorish Science Temple, we got our ID card for the temple. We got our travel ID card for the temple only. And we got our tax exempt ID for the temple only. I've been demonstrating this forever. That's why I tell people, we are spiritual beings. It don't matter what banner we under, because I'm under the triple rose too. The triple rose is understanding all three religious rites. The Paraclete, the Fatimite, and the Jerusalem. I teach from the holy books. I'm not here to separate. I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to fulfill. I love the biblical books. I'm here to fulfill. But we must establish ourselves, just like when words have synonyms, just like state, just like principality, just like community. All those words mean the same thing. Brother, a lot of things not made up. If we're working, if you have a job, taxes are going to be done. I don't care what you do. If you got a job, you paying taxes. If you got a house, you paying taxes. If you got a car, you paying taxes. If your car registered, you paying taxes. It's a lot of stuff that people just talk about. How to, I'm going to cancel corporate debt. All that stuff is just Negro talk. No disrespect to no one. A person will show you how to go straight to prison and don't pass go. That's all they'll show you. And it's be a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme. I don't have no scheme. I have a strategy. I don't have no scheme. Everything that I'm saying, I taught on college campus and continue to do it. So I don't have a problem with teaching and showing. I say us as a people, it should be a common denominator. It should be a common denominator. What? Wisdom coming together. It's one nationality, many cultures. We are the holy books. What holy books? All the books. We are the holy books. I don't care if you read the Bible or the Quran. I'm going to show you all the forefathers are the same. Then what do you have to say after that? So I don't have a problem with no one, because a lot of people, they are out Muhammad. They are out poke the Pope with all that religious dogma. But what about what we know about finances, about microeconomics and microeconomics, about tax codes, about allodial deeds, about having land, about organization, about community growth? That's what I'm up on. I'm way past some religious dogma. I'm way past that. That's why I'm able to be out here in Arizona and teach people that don't look like me, brothers and sisters, and have people that don't look like me sit down at the table with me and support what I'm doing. That's how I'm able to go to the college campus, and the same books that I show y'all, the college kids buy them all because they study us to a T. So I'm not here to argue with none of my brothers and sisters. I love all of y'all. I love everyone. I don't care if you identify as some Christian, some Muslim. I don't care if you under your ancestors. I'm under all that too. Because we can agree way more than we should be able to disagree. We should be able to agree way more than we disagree. Why? Because all of us know each other. And we let man-made religion and pseudo-academia and Negro-centric and Eurocentric propaganda separate us, because we think. And I'm not here for us to think. I'm here for us to know. We should be into the science of knowing. We should be in the science of knowing. If you say this is the age of Aquarian ages, wisdom, that means the outpouring of knowledge is upon us. That means we're here at the outpouring of knowledge. Just like one of my European professors said. He said, okay, if you teach at one of these universities out here, he was like, I want all my kids to come learn from you. I don't care if you're a Christian or Muslim or whatever. Why? Because I'm going to teach you what you need to have. You shouldn't let who I am or my personal belief destroy what we do collectively. Because when you sit down and have a real conversation with me, you're going to be like, this brother believed the same thing I believe. Because most of our people don't study. This fez does not mean I'm no Muslim. This fez does not have nothing to do with no Islam Muslim. Now, some people that Muslim might wear it. Just like some people that's Muslim that wear the kufi. But the kufi is a bonnet in your Bible. Look in your Bible and see the followers of Yahshua, they wore the bonnet. When people see me with my turban, these is only Negroes. Are you a Muslim? No, the people in the Bible, they wore a damn turban. The high priest wore a turban with the jewel in it. The high priest of the Bible. When you see me with my tunic on, cotton or silk, the follower of Yahshua wore the tunic, cotton or silk, with the sash, with the earrings. If you get your lexicon and start dealing with linguistics, so what are we talking about? Exactly, Empress. When my European people see me in Arizona, they say, oh, I love your national headdress. I love your religious headdress. Yes, Al-Islam Muslims might wear a kufi, aka a bonnet. Yeah, some Al-Islam Muslims might wear a turban, but that ain't the true teachings. They adopted it. I can show you right in the Bible that the followers of Yahshua, especially the high priest, wore a turban with the jewel on it. I'm a high priest. I honor the Most High. That's an outward appreciation of who I am. And this fez right here should tell you that I'm not a Negro, black, or colored. It's my national headdress. When you read Leviticus 25 and 10 in your Bible, I hope you know what it means. That means we're going back to who we are. And my fez, when I turn it inside out, it's the Liberty Bell. It's the gong. This is the gong. It's just what it is. And we have to take this science that's in books and apply it. I done been in all houses. When I go to Vegas, I deal with a lot of my Ethiopian so-called Christians. I deal with a lot of my Ethiopian Christians. That's Tasawus. I don't diss nothing. I can't diss nothing with them because I understand it. I understand it. When my European brothers call me Melchizedek, when I start showing y'all people, and no disrespect again, when the misnomer European, those lower level Freemasons, because in meteorology, that's when water freezes, they'll tell you that it's some aliens, and they'll talk about some Anunnaki, but the Anunnaki is you and me. Another brother asked me, do we nationalize and buy our community? Once again, you proclaim and declare and have due process. That's of knowledge. No man, no woman can nationalize you or denationalize you. It'll change you from the descendant nature of your foremothers and forefathers. He'll change you from the descendant natures of your foremothers and forefathers. So I teach you who you are. So for the record, when a person asks you, stay who you are for the record, because no one can arbitrarily explain who you are. That's why I have to teach people. All you got to do is research the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15. You have a right of a nationality and a right to change it. No one can arbitrarily deny your nationality and a right to change it. And to claim a child replaces the birth certificate. I deal with all my Chaldean brothers. I deal with so many of my people. And when I meet them, they're like, well, you just a Sufi. You just Melchizedek in the flesh. I know a lot of I know family members that's Boule. They'll never say it. They came around me and have to identify themselves. If you came out to Arizona with me, and every European Mason, they'll come to me, and when I say shedding the light out is nothing disrespectful, but it's a certain honor that they'll give to me. It's a certain thing that they'll do. Because they know who I am. I haven't took no oath. I'm initiated through the wisdom. I tell everybody, I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I'm anointed and consecrated. No disrespect to no one. A Greek is a fraud. Research Steve Coakley. And I start showing y'all all Tony Brown's journals. When you see Dr. Bean and John Henry Clark and all them brothers would sit down and build it together, not arguing. Research Steve Coakley. No, I don't have no plight with nobody. Get a book called Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James, and he'll tell you that the Greek is a fraud. It ain't nothing but stolen Egyptian history. I ain't here to disrespect nobody. I'm here to bring this back to us. But a lot of our brothers have took oaths. What? Not to teach their kids. How can you be a Mason or a Boule and all that and your kid not that? How can you have millions and millions of dollars and don't bring your kids into something that you say is valuable? How? Because they think their kids is perverse. They think they have some higher power. But the last thing they know is the first thing I teach them. You don't have no potentate. And then they say they Christians. Well, in the Bible, it should tell you that you don't take no oath. You don't have no potentate over you. You can't be no widow's son when God is the only one over you, is the only sovereign. They'll lie to you in a drop of a heartbeat. And so when I come around, they know who I am. I don't have no problem with nobody. Just like the Eastern Stars, when they wear the white fez with the gold tassel, them our misnomer black women won't even say nothing. They won't even tell you that the marriage law came from the DAR, which is the Daughters of American Revolution, to keep you in subjugation. They won't even tell you that. And I tell you, you don't have to go to the city hall to get no marriage license. That's a damn contract. You're supposed to do this in your religious set, and then you can put it in a newspaper to put it on notice, but you don't have to go get no marriage license. When you're part of a religious culture, a spirituality is part of your culture, I know what I'm talking about. And when we do that, that's a lack of. That's why I tell people we're not responsible for what we didn't know. But when we know, then we're supposed to correct the things that we didn't know. I'm telling y'all, a lot of stuff is mixed up in masonry. No disrespect. No European have no power. It's our only people that's coming back to our communities and poisoning our community. How? By keeping information away from you. But I'm in the information age, and I'm an educator, and I'm a scholar. And I ain't took no oath, but I'm initiated. That's why I wear my fez freely. I can start showing you a lot of people on here, they uncles and they fathers is Freemasons. And I can show you when your uncle or your dad or your husband died, if he ain't pull out his little blue book and his fez and all his little documents that show you the oath he took. I'm telling you what I know. And when they take their little secret trips and you think they doing business, can't be mad at me. I start getting into all the ancient teachings of this Kemetic science to show you how, no disrespect, Black Masons has messed you up. No disrespect to no one. No disrespect to no one. I'll show you that you don't know Pooh Diddley. I don't care if you were Prince Hall or nothing. They don't even know who Prince Hall is. Don't get mad at me. I'll start illuminating everything. That's why when Black Masons come around me, they be quiet in a church mouse. I don't care if you boule or none of that. You took an oath. I'm telling you what I know. Be mad at me if you want to. I told y'all, anybody that's 32 and 33 degrees, let me give y'all some science. In the Bible, didn't Jesus so-called die at 32 and 33 or 33? Well, in meteorology, what do water freeze at? In meteorology, what do water freeze at? I ask anybody right now, in meteorology, what do water freeze at? Anybody with common sense know? Let me see if somebody's smart, especially for my Masons. Water freeze at 32 degrees, 33 degrees. So that means that's snowman wisdom. It's a lot that I can share with people. The Greek is a fraud. You don't got to listen to me. Research Steve Coakley. I got the book, Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. I got Stolen Legacy. The European agree with me. I got books called the Primordial Man by Europeans that say, well, I don't know what y'all talk about. This brother is telling y'all the truth. By Albert Churchward. Research a book called Signs and Symbols of the Primordial Man by Albert Churchward. And then he wrote a whole bunch of Masonic books. He gonna talk just like me. These Europeans be laughing at misnomer Black people when they take an oath. I'm telling you what I know. The Greek is a fraud. You can't be mad at me. I'm not here to make nobody upset. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to show you some truth of the matter. Because if all these Freemasons of the world, these Black Masons, if they got so much knowledge, why they not bringing it back? My YouTube is my name, Kari, IBNAHAKIM, Goodman Bay. I have a Temple and School YouTube page. It's called the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. But my personal YouTube page is what I'm on right now. It's my name, Kari, Khary. My spiritual name that was given to me from my wisdom is Ibna, Kari, IBNA. My middle name, Hakim, HAKIM, Goodman, GOODMAN, Bay. That's my YouTube channel. That's my YouTube channel. And our temple have a YouTube channel, which is the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. So I'll give y'all a little bit of this and I'm out of here because I know my Empress is on the way home. I'll give y'all a little preface of how these Masons will lie to you and how your own brother will lie right into your face. I don't care how nobody feel because I give my life for what I believe. I give my life willingly. I'll give my life willingly for what I believe. Nobody gonna shut me down. If the European rock with me, y'all can go on my YouTube channel and see the European giving credit to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday, and he laughing at all these Black Masons and all these Muslims acting like they don't know who Noble Drew Ali is, and they don't know the ancient history of this fest. It's blasphemy. It's blasphemy. It's blasphemy. I don't even know how to type on here. Let me see if I know how to type. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, I do. Let me see. I'm going to give y'all this little history and I'm going. Kari, Ibna, Hakim, Goodman, Bay. All right. All right, I think I did that. Yep, okay. And I'm going to put my Temple and School YouTube channel on there. So, because we have class every Saturday, every Sunday. We have book club every Friday. So watch this. I'm going to give our Temple and School YouTube channel, which is Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple Science Temple and School. We have our own web page, which is bbtsciencetemple.com. I've done so many. We have our own podcast where I've done interviews, and so I have, like I told you, I have a full library. Oh, brother said I'm on you. He said you need my PDF information again. My PDF book company is www.mypdfbooks. That's books with the Z.com. My PDF book company is www.mypdfbooks. That's books with the Z.com. And then my binded book company is called bindedbooks.com. BINDED books.com. And if any books on there, if anything that I talk about not on my website, you can get it from me. All you gotta do is hit me up. I give my email, Goodman, KHARY @gmail.com. Goodman, GOODMAN. I'll put it in the text stream. Let me see. Yep, there you go, right there. That's my email. I'll give my office number. I share all my information with my brothers and sisters. I don't have nothing to hide. If I say I have the keys to something, how it's going to be a secret? Let me see, 473 877. There. I think I gave. See, did I do that right? Oh, I didn't share. Oh, let me see. There. I put that in the text stream because I'm on YouTube with a lot of my people from Flint, Michigan. But that's my info. I shared it with y'all. My office number is 602-473-8767. My Gmail is Goodman, GOODMAN, KHARY @gmail.com. Let me show y'all something else, man. When I show y'all, like, what we do is serious. Like, this is my company. On one side is our PDF book company. All you gotta do is hit the QR code. And the other side is our binded books company. Right here, this is one of my old cards. But right here is our Temple and School. Our Temple and School page. So easy access. Oh, there go my Empress. That means it's almost time for me to get done. I've been on here for a minute. What's up, babe?
Hi, baby.
Y'all know that must be time for me to get done. But I will leave y'all with this, family. And thank you for everybody that tapped in. I will leave y'all with this, with some science, to show you how we've been miseducated by brothers that look like us and all these Negroes that took an oath. A lot of your preachers that took an oath. That's why they're confusing the masses. Victorious Youngblood said, hey, babe. Victorious Youngblood.
Hey.
Peace, Empress. She said, peace and love to you, Queen. But it's a vast distinction between Western Freemasonry, usually called Freemasonry, designed as a ladder which we climb from the finite into the infinite heart of the falling man back to the hearts of the Creator. And it's all wrapped up in no disrespect, European pillaged universities, temples, knowledges. They done all this to disconnect you. But let me give you a little bit of a tittle of wisdom before I leave. As for the entity of Freemasonry and the role it plays in the resurrection of the misnomer Negro people, if a person needs to get from Wednesday to Friday, he or she must go through Thursday. It is not disrespectful to go through Thursday, from its day through its night to reach Friday. It's necessary. In the course of human events, it's just as natural fact someone put Friday behind Thursday. So likewise, and like so, when one wants to get to the tomb of the unknown nation buried underneath the Constitution of the United States, where the unconscious African rulers lay in state, he or she must go through the secret seal of Freemasonry. And this mighty fraternal order is a secretly sealed stone of opposition that guards the entrance of the dismal crypt. This history occurred during the latter few centuries, reveals someone placed these events in this order. It showed you this. And today, Freemasonry stands as the major blockage of Negro blacks and colors. The boule, they stand in the way of the misnomer Negro black and colored people. Ordained attainment of nationhood under their own one free national name and rejoicing the nations of the human family. So in respect to historical events, brothers and sisters, historical events, it was the work of this secret society which committed the murder, buried the victim, and concealed the evidence. Therefore, it is not disrespectful to go through the Masonic system to retrieve that which is hidden. It is an unavoidable necessity. I had to go through those halls. I had to be initiated and anointed. I've been through the fire, and the only way out the fire is to have one of your brothers that's been through the fire and came out unburned. To understand the history of anything, the subject of the student must be placed in the proper light, placed in the light and time context. During the past so-called 400 years, there have been hundreds of millions of people on both ends of the whip who have died in awe of the lock of the misnomer African slave. There have been countless prayers sung, stuck in your head, just like when the Christian is sing some song, Amazing Grace, a wretch like me. Y'all heard that song, but that's not no Negro hymn. That song, no disrespect, was by a European that was on his deathbed, asking for forgiveness after all the things he's done. But the Dutch masters, they tried to lock, they have the lock and have denied entry to them. This lock is a secret conspiracy entrusted deep into the lodges of Freemasonry. And I'm just going to give y'all a tittle. I'm going to give y'all a tittle. I'm going to give y'all a little bit that represents the master key. If I say I got a key, then it can't be secret. For the especial lock, it's the right key. Only love divine at the age, touch of time can turn the key that has been locking a clean and pure nation from the material world above. And I'm not here to disrespect my Masonic brothers. I'm not here to but you know you lying to the masses. And only Masons above ground would not be offended. And when I teach this to Europeans, they have no offense because they under these teachings. They don't have no offense. The only people have offense is black people. Black Masons, black this. And according to science and law, black means dead. I don't care if you know Freemason. When you research the Dred Scott law, when you research laws, it was illegal to be a Negro, black or colored since 1825. Before Abraham Lincoln was a president, he was an attorney. He defended the Moore in court. When you research the Spencer and the Dungy law, research the Spencer and Dungy law. It was on damn Jeopardy when the lady was like, what's the law that black people have no freedoms? I don't care if you a Mason or this. Never in life, the Dred Scott law. It was never abolished. And we go around with that dumb stuff, talk about Black Lives Matter. And the only people that's going to get paid for a black person is the person that created you. Black wasn't even used to describe ethnicity in the first century. I told y'all, most black people has been hoodwinked. We fell for the Jedi mind trick. Let me give y'all some more wisdom before I proceed. Let me give y'all some more wisdom. Y'all see this book right here? This book was written by a European named Harold Colander. This is what Alex Haley plagiarized roots from. This is what Alex Haley plagiarized roots from. Talk about Kunta Kinte with his ancestors. That Negro is a lie ain't no truth in him. And Harold Colander sued him. I told y'all, first published in 1967, The African has sold more than 300,000 copies and was translated into several languages and was a proven primary source for Alex Haley Pulitzer Prize-winning book, Roots. Then when y'all talk about some Willie Lynch, like I love some of the stuff Farrakhan talk about, But most people heard of that 1995 at the Million Man March, and I'm telling you, that's propaganda. If it's a Willie Lynch letter, it'll be in the Library of Congress. But they let misnomer black people have propaganda. Black wasn't even used to describe ethnicity in first century. And a person can be mad all they want to. But I'm telling you truth, and truth has no size. I don't care, because I'll die for what I believe in. Don't make me no different. A Negro can't do nothing to me. If I teach the European and they say, Sheik, everything you saying is truth, I don't got no problem with it. I don't have no problem with speaking the truth. And Masons of both ground would not be offended, knowing many of those being exhumed will unnaturally fight the light by defending the darkness of their entombment. When we talk about the shallow grave, the Negro buried in a shallow grave in masonry, and you have the acacia tree in front of that tomb, who's buried there? And what the Negro Mason and what the European Mason won't tell you, no disrespect, the Master Mason, they do not want their profound world to know. But I've come to take the cover of all the secret societies. I come to remove the veil from all secret societies. From all secret societies. You, the Asiatic black man, in your Bible, Haram Abith, from Tyree. It's in your Bible. The only ones that had the skills to build Solomon's temple. Watch how I break this down. No one can deny what I'm saying. The real foundation of Western Freemasonry rests upon an awful murder. This murder is a pogrom of the God-man of the Nile, the African kings and indigenous African nationals. This capital crime included the subjugation of Africa through what? The dousing of the light in Egypt and the obscurity of the true Garden of Eden. This homicide is disguised in the Constitution of Freemasonry as what? The killing of Haram Abith, the widow's son. The embodiment of this slaying is unquestionably the master crime of those times. Haram death depicts a history from the first physical African man to be enlightened with wisdom to the last mankind. No disrespect. Europeans, Albion, Troglodytes, whatever. To become civilized with knowledge. And back again. To understand this murder is to free the misnomer Negro from his, disguised grave of perpetual slavery, using the only divine key that will separate this mystery, which they call a secret, from where it is lodged in Freemasonry. And although Freemasonry is not a religious order, it is predominantly structured from the Bible, the Torah, and the Vedas, and the Holy Quran. That's why the first house with Masons, they study Christianity, but the last house is Al-Islam, and the secret word is Assalamu Alaikum. If they sit on here and lie to you, they can't do that with me because they know I got their damn charter. And when you go into the Masonic house, all of these books lay open on the Masonic altars, pinning the heights of the degrees. And the parable of Haram Abith can be found in the Torah, aka the Old Testament. All you got to do is go in 1 Kings, the 7th chapter, and this Masonic history is more of a cover-up than a book. It is similar to the fallacy of having a criminal describe his own crime because of these covert activities. Yep, I'm almost done, Noble. It would take me so much to illuminate y'all, but I'm just giving y'all a little bit. You should know, not think nothing. You should know. Because I'm not here to protect nobody. Not only has the murder gone unreported, but also because of the great conspiracy, those who have been most victimized now carry the black mark of death. And yet they does not realize that you dead. According to science and law, black means death. It's silver mortis in a court of law. It's silver mortis. According to science and law, black means death. I ain't say black wasn't beautiful in a certain context. Yet both the murder and the deaths are real. That's why I became an Egyptian adept, a master teacher. And a lot of people, my own people, they mistake me for some Freemason or some higher order of a shrine. But I am the shrine. I am the shrine. I am the God man. And I told y'all, no God man can be a Muslim who submits his or her will, of the great God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever you, while simultaneously give his will via oath to the worshipful of a man. That's why in the biblical scriptures tell you that a God man ain't gonna take no oath. When people be false accuse me, oh, he a Freemason. Well, you should be able to find my charter, just like I can. That's like I got your daddy charter and your uncle charter and your preacher charter. If I'm some master European or Negro Mason, I told y'all I'm a spirit builder. I'm 99 degrees of ancient rite of Memphis and Mizraim. I haven't took no oath. I'm 33 times 3. If I was a Freemason, you would been to see me with a defiled fez. But I can show y'all some preachers in Flint that y'all go to, and you can go on their YouTube page, and them Negroes got their whole Masonic order on, and they took an oath, and all they had to do was polypair it. Yeah. It's a vast difference between Freemasonry and African self-mastery, whose ancient educators were centered in Kemet, which is Egypt. And those Negroes, no disrespect, and the European orders of Freemasonry are built upon the letter of the universal laws stolen from African grand temples. Everything from the tools to the signs to the symbols, and the most manifest seen by the carnal eye were pillaged northward in Europe. That's why when you see a Mason and you see the skirt and you see Islam and Mecca, that was for them to do business with a true God man. All that cost, Western Freemasonry should never be constructed as something beneficial to your children. All lodges, no disrespect, of European Masonry and Negro Freemasonry are built upon sciences, tools, signs, and symbols, laws, and rituals, pillaged from the temples, the universities, the lodges, and the pyramids of Northeast and Northwest Africa. And contrary to the Masons' degree of being free, ancient, and accepted, Freemasonry, as it's established today, only recently began at the turn of the 18th century. Its first recorded meeting was held June 24th, 1717 in London, in England, in a tavern called the Goose of the Gridiron. Do that bring anything to y'all remembrance? And everybody know what I'm saying. And these were wealthy men, Europeans of 21, age of 21. They were the elite. I'm telling you what I know. What was the mother of all the world's religion, the ancient Egyptian mystery systems, the perfection of God and man, has been rearranged into 3 degrees of masonry. And most of their structure, both the buildings, the constitution, were taken from the original African God man, mainly Solomon, and the building of the temple. Yet the lessons can reach as far back to when the leprous, no disrespect, people were first cast out of Amexima, the first true and divine name of Africa, and toe line into the so-called Caucasus Mountains of Europe, to when Moses went to civilize them. Or in other rituals and forms, Masons will acknowledge other African masters of the same family. How? Abraham, Boaz, by Ruth, David, Hezekiah, Joachim, Joseph, and Yahshua. Although they may also draw some of their powers from the Buddhists, their highest acquirement is to find the God they seek, whose Arabic name is Allah. Ask them. They're not going to tell you what the acacia tree means. That's in the coffin. That's right on the front of the coffin of Haram Abif. Don't y'all know Freemasonry, the coffin, is showcased as an emblem of mortality? I got a couple more minutes for y'all. The prefix mort always relate to death. So the word mortality refers to what? Human death on a massive scale. War, disease, catastrophe, genocide. I teach this. The Western African God man who civilized Spain, Italy, Portugal for over 800 years. It's a book called The Moors Who Ruled Spain for 800 years, was the trust keepers of the ancient mystery system of God and man. His infinite wisdom is the true tools which build Solomon Temple. The lodges of Western Freemasonry used the coffin to conceal their murder of the Western African God man. The sprig of the acacia, a tree indigenous to the continent of Africa, is the Masonic tombstone, now marking the grave of the first man formed in human flesh to indeed be African. An upright 5-pointed pentagram denotes Morocco as his exact West African jurisdiction. Morocco was the capital of the old Moorish Empire. And everybody know what I'm telling them. And when I talk about the four of the coffins used by various orders of Western and Negro Freemasonry, they all bear what? The pentagram. Some stars are open and some are closed, but they all represent man. When I talk about straight up, arm, leg, arm, head, not turned like them Easter stars where they got their horns up first. All coffins have the acacia sprig, but some also boldly display the murder weapon, the setting maul. In the Bible, Jablua, Jablam, and Jablim. They had a jubilee when they killed you. The selling maul used to render the final blow to Haram Abith. Others show the very shovel of the constitutional laws used to bury him in a northwestern shallow grave. Although dead, he was trained to walk around as a Negro, black, and colored people, but never to realize himself as God. And the fiend existence of Haram would never enable him to rise from the world's most secret massacre, whole, intact, as one nation, bearing one free national name. I'm telling y'all, I can teach y'all this for decades and eons, and nobody that's anointed and consecrated, especially the European Masons, they're not going to say nothing, because the European is not the jokes of Masonry. The European will tell you that he or she is a son of a Muslim. A European would not tell you that they some stupid widow son. The European will tell you that he or she is a son of a Muslim. Black Masons will come with that bull crap, talk about they some widow son. I'm telling you. What about a Mason being free? Make no mistake about it. The institution of Western Freemasonry is an expression of freedom for certain males with pale skin, 21. That's how it was created. The suffix free in Freemasonry is of a great significance because it established the very status of the order and the intent of its members. I teach us Moors and true light seekers, although you were born free, you will come to know that nothing is free until it is of itself, clean, pure, and unmixed. That's why I tell you to be yourself. As water offers freedom for fish to swim, as air offers freedom for birds to fly, like so secrecy offers freedom for Masons to work and not be detected. And when any living thing is free, it is due to the natural autonomy, which offers security and glory of their own prosperity. I'm telling y'all, I'm giving y'all keys. I'm giving y'all keys. You got to understand only the light of divinity and knowledge was centered in commit of Akibalan and other continent people by the original families with you. No disrespect to no one. The Greek called Alexander. They took the science. That is to say, the word Mason esoterically means mass of sun. I'm telling you, the etymology of Christian is Cretan, somebody that's maimed and stupid with missing limbs. I have no disrespect to no one. Masons reveal this as they refer to themselves as widow sons. To Masons, all women are widows because they can only sustain and deliver the sons of men. Hence, any man she either marries or conceives by ultimately must be her son and leave her widowed without a husbandman. They are therefore free sons of a widow, free from the woman. But the woman is Mayat, the guard that produces food and life. The widow, none of that. So I just wanted y'all to know that. I'll give y'all a little bit about Haram Abith, because it's too much. It'll take me weeks and months. But y'all got to understand the Masonic story of Haram Abith. I'll give you this. King Solomon summoned the most accomplished craftsmen in civilized world, India, Persia, and Canada. The call was for the masters of the order of Melchizedek. That's why when I'm out here, all my European colleagues call me Melchizedek, because I'm the one that teach the science. From the sacred school of the Nazarites, an African brother named Haram Abith, who was also a master of building tools. In your Moorish Quran, chapter 5, these are the tools that build you up. In the village of Zephirath, in your Bible, where he lived with his mother, one of Haram's specialties was constructing pillars. And the purpose of a pillar is to support that which is above with that which is below. Haram's headdress called the fez, Hiram headdress called the fez depicted the mastery of his craft. Research in your Bible in 1 Kings in the 7th chapter. Research what I'm telling you. The other biblical Hiram is from Ty, T-Y-E. Hiram Abiff became the master builder of King Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. And one day, I'm giving you the story, as Hiram, with his tools, was on his assigned route, the three roofings. That's like when you look up Larry, Curly, and Moe, they put that's like kingfish. Amos and Andy, when y'all talk about kingfish, they'll put everything jokingly, but they were masons. I teach this. The three roofings savagely attacked him. The three robbers named Jubilo, Jubileel, and Jablim in your Bible. They stole Hiram's tools and clothes. I'm telling you what I know. The widow's son is a myth made from the minds of Western Freemasonry and cloaked in secrecy. Most lies originate from some degree of truth, just like jokes are founded upon some reality. Like so, nearly all European and Negro-centric Masonic rituals, signs, tools, and symbols are diluted reflections of African origination. The so-called widow's son is no exception to these fundamental human principles. In European masonry and Negro masonry, the widow's son is descriptive of the Western African God-man whose code name is Hiram Abiff. Ask him. Hiram Abiff, the widow's son. It's generally a code names, and code names are used by secret societies, governments, non-diplomas, military intelligence, and other worldly thinkers to do what? To conceal the true identities of those operations. Non-diplomas trickle down to hoi polloi and used as nicknames, aka aliases, and stage names. Hiram Abiff, the widow's sons, originated from the same European and Negro's mind, which created the same Negro, black, and colored people, which is the 3/5 clause. No disrespect to no one. I'm telling you, all facts. There can never be a widow while Allah is the husbandman. The first thing that I teach all my brothers and sisters is actually the very last thing that a Mason earned the privilege to know. What? Who made you? Allah, the great God. The word of God. What is the word of God in Aramaic? It's Allah, E-L-A-H. Man is a thought of Allah. All thoughts of Allah are infinite. And when I'm saying Allah, I'm not talking about no Al-Islam. I'm talking about arm, leg, arm, head. When I say Islam, I'm talking about I, self, law, and master. I'm not talking about no man-made religion. So I want y'all to be clear on that. Man is a thought of Allah. All thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured up by time. Man himself is not the body nor the soul. We are a spirit of and a part of Allah. So spirit man and seed of Allah held deep within himself, the attributes of every part of Allah. Now seeds are perfect as the source from which they come, but they are not unfolded into life made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So man, the seed, must be deeply planted in a soil that he might grow, unfold, as does the bud unfold to show the flower. And the human seed that comes forth from the heart of Allah was full ordained to be the Lord of the plane of the soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil of soul. It grew apace, and man became a living soil, and he became the Lord of all the kingdoms of the soul. So I'm gonna stop right there because I've been going in for a minute. So I give y'all honor. I give y'all glory. Like I said, we got to come back and teach these people. I went and educated myself. I went and got consecrated. I'm able to bring these teachings back to our people. No one can come to me and tell him, hey, that man telling y'all something that's not valid. The only person that's going to say that is a person that's took an oath, or a person that has a tittle of understanding, and they're giving you Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda. I promise you that. I give these teachings freely. That's why I don't have a problem with asking for donations and things with my temple and school, because I get paid swell. You go and give it to the church with no benefits. The church don't share documents. I have a full library. I share everything with all my people. So once again, I love y'all, man. I give honor to each and every one of y'all. And it's time for us to resurrect ourselves. It's one nationality, many cultures. And I'm not here to strip no one of their culture. I'm here to show you that you're not Negro, you're not black, you're not African American. You're not none of those misnomers that identify as slaves. You can't be that. Black lives don't matter because you're not black, and black is an adjective. You cannot be black. If you're going around promulgating some Black Lives Matter, anybody with any common sense will laugh at you. Anybody with any common sense. Because the only people that's black was created by the person that created you. The only people that's going to get reparations for black people is the person that created you. Who do we pray to? You remember what I said. Remember what I teach. You got to see yourself in all these teachings. That's why when I break down the biblical teachings, when I break down Yahweh, when I break down Yahshua the Messiah, when I break down the Hebrew text, I'm under the Hebrew code. I'm under the Hebrew diet. If any more don't know that, it's their fault. I'm under the Sephirots. So when I break these teachings down, you don't pray outside of yourself. You are a God. In the biblical scripture, it tells you we are gods. We are made in the image of the Creator. You give homage to the Creator. But you damn sure should get homage to yourself as being a God on this earth plane. That's why affirmations is so prevalent today. That's why we have to have the right science and have to have the right teachings. That's why I keep telling my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge. As soon as something happens to them, oh Lord, fix it. I don't have no disrespect to no one. But a lot of my brothers and sisters, they'll join Greek fraternities and won't even come to their brother. They'll pay dues to all of these societies and all of them Greek. I don't care if they have some leader. And I'm going to tell you, no disrespect to no one. The Greek is a fraud. All you got to do is read George G.M. James. Read Stolen Legacy. And anybody of my brothers that's Greeks, I don't have no disrespect to them. Read Stolen Legacy and then come back with me. And then let's have a conversation. And I bet you the people that establish those organizations won't tell you what I know. And a lot of them are lower level 32 and 33 degree Freemasons. Research Stephen Coakley. When you talk about the Boule, when you talk about the Greek is a fraud. I ain't here to disrespect none of my brothers and sisters. I'm here to resurrect you and anoint you. I don't have no problem with my brothers and sisters because a lot of times we do things and we don't know because we just want to be a part of something. But I'm one of the brothers. I'm anointed. I'm consecrated. You don't have to join nothing outside of yourself for true wisdom. That's why the European respect me. That's why I'm Melchizedek in the flesh. If I say I'm Melchizedek, then you got to understand I respect all the laws and the prophets. I respect all the God men. It was 16 crucified saviors before Jesus Christ. I don't disrespect no one. I give homage to all the religious rites, the Fatimid, the Paraclete, the Jerusalem. But a lot of my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge because they refuse to learn. These is facts. And I get anybody that's in a Greek fraternity, that's a Freemason, I bet you I'll sit them down and I bet you they'll be quiet because they don't even know their charter. I bet you they so-called potentate or the person that established they Greek fraternity, I bet you they won't have nothing to say when they speaking to me, especially if they educated. Because most brothers that's educated and went to the university that's under Greek fraternities, they don't want you to study nothing. And I'm telling you, research a book called Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. I'll give it to you for free. And then you can come back and ask a question with me. And then we can see if I'm disrespecting any of my brothers. I got a lot of people that's under Greek fraternities. I got family members that's Boule. Then a lot of our family don't know. I got a lot of family members that's lower level Masons. They better be quiet in the church mouse. They better be quiet in the church mouse. Because I started telling them that I know they don't know nothing. And I know they took an oath. And they died and all the secrets go with them. These is facts. This is what's keeping us down. If this was so prevalent, why are we not coming back in the communities? Why the so-called Greek, the misnomer black Greek brothers, why they not getting with me that's a potentate? Why are we not coming together and build our communities? You only going to see those certain Greeks with this. You only going to see the Catholics with this. You only going to see the Negro Freemason with this. You only going to see the Mason with this. You only going to see the black Christian with this. You only going to see the black Hebrews like with this. Why? Because they splinter groups. They all think they got something that's so powerful, but they all struggling. Why? Because that's how they programmed us, y'all. Y'all ain't got this yet. And then they talk about they believe in the Holy Spirit. You can't. When you got somebody over you, when you took some oath, these is facts. And it ain't no disrespect to none of my people. Well, the first thing they started doing, any of my brothers that's Negro Freemasons, that's 32 and 33 degrees, and that's in meteorology when water freeze, that's when Jesus died. If any of my, or Yahshua died, if any of my brothers that's in Greek fraternities, the first thing they're going to do is start getting mad. But when I started pulling out their charters, when I started pulling out everything, when I started showing them ancient manuscripts, when I tell them to research Steve Coakley, and research all his lectures talking about the Greek is a fraud. Research Steve Coakley when he's talking about the Boule. Steve Coakley just didn't have the support. Steve Coakley was around just like when C. Freeman L., when Bobby Hemmett was around. I have one old elder who said, how can they not like you and they like Bobby Hemmett? They said, clearly they don't. How can they not like you and they like C. Freeman L.? And you teach the teachings. You cannot get mad at me because we don't see our brothers as God. Most of my people don't see me anointed and consecrated. But the European do. I'm Melchizedek to them. The European give me homage, but my own people don't. And I have no disrespect to nobody. And that's where I'll leave it. If y'all don't have the documents, all y'all got to do is hit me up. I gave y'all my information. My mufti's on YouTube and all this. I'll give you the documents. I'll give you the book, Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James, where he tell you that Greek history and all that is nothing but stolen legacy. And then our brothers that's melanated, they'll go talk about they some Greek gods. And I say, how? How are you a Greek god? How? Where is this coming from? And they won't admit that they made a mistake. And so they will build on a damn lie. That's crazy. I never embarrass my brother. Just like when most of these brothers get into Greek, they have to get embarrassed. They have to cut their hair. They have to do all stupid stuff. No disrespect. They have to be embarrassed. I ain't here to embarrass nobody. I'm here to build you up. I ain't here to embarrass you and to make you do something. I ain't here to make you pull your damn pants down or embarrass you. They can get mad at me if they want to. I got your charter. I'll be waiting for one of them brothers to get on here with that dumb shit. Say, brother, I love y'all, but that's why most of these brothers don't deal with me, because they took an oath. And a lot of them are Greeks, and a lot of them are Freemasons. That's the truth. That's the truth. And they was under a hazing and an embarrassment. It's facts. And a lot of them don't study. It's a whole bunch of Negroes coming together, drinking and smoking. They won't even come to class. They won't even learn. They won't even support something that's real. That's how they got us. It's all like a caricature. But when I take you to the European houses, they study. They have all the books. I'm Melchizedek, and my own people don't look at me as like that. That's why I separated myself and I moved. That's why I'm going to continue to teach people that don't look like me, because our people are lost due to a lack of knowledge. I see so many of our people that say they educated and brag like, oh, I got a master's degree, I got a PhD, and call themselves Negro, colored, and African American, and talk about Black Lives Matter, but they so educated, and black is an adjective. But they so educated and smart. Talk about some stupid reparations. A Negro will never get reparations, identifying as some Negro, black, and colored, and African American. Never. Any questions? I'm done. I've been going on for damn near 3 hours. I told you I can do this. I can do a damn marathon. I can do a marathon. I don't need nothing, because I've been doing this for years and teaching to all educators and scholars and European potentates out here in Arizona. I've been teaching this, and the only thing that a brother do will get upset. And that's the first thing Negroes do. They get upset and they get mad. But the truth will make you free, and the truth has no size. I bet you no European Mason will disagree with what I'm saying. I bet you that. I bet you if your dad a Mason, and I bet you he'll be like, oh, well, yeah. He'll start denying stuff. He'll start stuttering. Even the Greeks, they'll start stuttering because they don't know shit. Excuse my candor. And it ain't no disrespect to any of my brothers that's in a Greek fraternity. It ain't no disrespect, but I hope you tell the truth. But them brothers going into them Greek fraternities, what wisdom is you getting? But getting branded. What wisdom are you learning? You can sit up here and lie to me. You ain't learning no damn wisdom in no stupid ass Greek fraternity. You lying, and ain't no truth in you. It's all a game. No disrespect to keep us from not coming together, to keep us from not wearing our fez. I'm telling you, and only true God man will respect what I'm saying. Misnomer black people, misnomer black Greeks ain't gonna respect me. Misnomer black Masons, misnomer black this, black that, they ain't gonna respect me. But I guarantee you, the European Mason, that you look to as God, I bet you they respect me and honor to me. And I bet you they bow their head. And I bet you I shed their light out. And when I say shed their light out, it's not a disrespectful thing. It means in my science, and that's being Melchizedek, as being 99 degrees, it's a respect. And they're going to give me honor and privilege. And the European Mason is going to tell you that he or she is a son of Muslim. The European Mason is not going to say he's no stupid widow son. The European is not going to say he no Greek. The European is going to say he or she is a son of a Muslim. And with that, I'm out of here, man. And I love y'all. Peace.